Welcome to Altered Echo Archives, the latest episode that I need to actually update our stream information. We are currently in episode 15, not episode 14. Forgot to do that earlier. Yay!
4.2.
Oops. I'll fix that, in post on Twitch. Whatever. Anyway, but yes, so I am Evie, the director of Altered Echo Archives and GM for this lovely group. Pronouns are she, her, or she, they, or any. We will go ahead and cycle around to the various players. As you can see, everyone is back today. Let's start with Maggie, since you were not here last time.
Oh my gosh, hi. I'm Maggie. I use they, she pronouns. I play Sybil, who uses she, her pronouns. And Sybil is an overeager adept who would rather be reading.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially now.
Especially right now.
Yeah.
Fair.
Alrighty. Let's drop down in terms of the screens and go to Joel next.
Hi, I'm Joel. I use any pronouns, just whatever feels more comfortable for you to use. I don't mind. And I'm going to be playing Balder Misforge.
Okay.
I start reading something different. And I said, right, this. And he is an appealing speaker who moves like a cat and rises from the depths.
Mm-hmm. Then, of course, Kale or Alina.
Hey, I'm Alina. I am they, them, and I am playing Kale, who's also they, them. They are our empathic explorer who helps their friends and has the soul of a dragon, which will be a plot point in this episode, let me tell you.
Oh.
I wouldn't have guessed. Yeah. And last but certainly not least, the oh so wonderful Extel.
Hello, everybody. I'm Extel. I'm going to be playing Jax, a chaotic warrior who needs no weapons, and also rides the lightning.
Yes.
But both of our pronouns are him, and we are Legion, and we are tired.
Yeah.
You're almost dead, buddy.
Yeah, you suffered. You suffered.
You got like one hit point left.
Like it's more than that. It's not quite easy, but yeah, Jax is suffering. Jax is suffering.
Wait, 8 total?
8 total left out of
across three. Across three.
I believe it's a total of 42 that I have.
And that's also after healing too, right?
Oh no.
Yeah, this is after healing. Has not woken up to be able to roll some more recovery dice because when you guys wake up, that will be able to happen. But yeah, that is a great opportunity to indicate to anyone who may be listening, as a reminder, we are actually utilizing the Cypher system as our base gaming system, not D&D or the many types that are out there and available, which does mean that your health is related to more than just the single box number that you typically see in D&D. Your health and ability is tied to your 3 stats, which utilizes pools that you pull from those pools to do special things or when you are injured. Last time, the time before last, Jax might have, not quite at full health, decided to go toe-to-toe with a very powerful individual. But yes, so
see, he's not dead. He's not almost dead. Though is the thing. I was like 2 away from being full.
Yeah, you were really close. You were really close. She was just very, very strong and very, very fast. You rolled so well on all of your defenses. You rolled so well because all it took was a couple of hits, but you kept dodging.
Yeah, she really only hit me like 3 times. It was a time. But it's fine. I survived barely enough. Kind of.
That's fine. She left you alive. But yes, so this is a Cypher system-based game, Cypher Systems by Monte Cook Games. Go check it out if you are curious. I would also like to point out as some basic announcements, you will see in the corner of the screen a little QR code to donate to or check out the Lupus Foundation. The Lupus Foundation supplies not just monetary donations, but a variety of other things to the research and recovery of people who have the lupus syndrome. So definitely a great cause. We also still have available, currently going to be jumped into chat, if I can spell it. There we go. A direct link to be able to further donate to the efforts in Maui because of the wildfires. There are people that are still suffering and unfortunately having to deal with the greedy land grab that is starting to go underway. So help out if you can, spread the word to those who may be able to help or further the cause. But to round everything back up towards the game, I would like to issue a content warning. We go through our own lines and veils and have those discussions outside of actual game. But this game, nevertheless, will employ trauma, mentions of loss, definitely violence, as can be seen from the fact that Jax got beat up, and various things of such nature. We do our best not to cross each other's lines, but for those who are listening and watching, you have been warned. Last time, and slightly the time before that, after having encountered a magical wall that bled some sort of liquid that enhanced powers and had a somewhat high tension interaction among themselves, one of the party took the opportunity of unconscious friends to slip away, feeling guilt and determination to handle it himself. Sought out the leader of the guards and mediation of the entire city, a very strong and influential individual, to try and resolve whatever he thought he was resolving. A fight ensued, and even with the friends rushing to attempt to find and help him, it didn't last long. He managed to dodge a lot, but it only took a couple of hits, and he was downed, left barely conscious in the street, with the instruction to the guards that had joined her to just leave him for dead as a warning. But his friends did find him and help to drag him into a slightly closed up council member's household to try and take shelter for the night. And though they have not gotten a full explanation of why or what happened, and still don't really know what they're doing with all of that trauma and all of the situation that has arrived, they went to sleep. One of them deciding to sit up and stand watch, stressed and anxious, unfortunately was also the one who had dream powers. And those dream powers, with that stress and with the various catalysts of the evening and day, connected to all of the other characters, dragging them into a strange mix of what may be messages or dreams or visions. They do not know. Last session, Balder dreamed of history and messages and fears. Kale dreamed of previous lives, memories resurfacing, and conflict from those past personalities. Jax dreamed of his aunt and the passing of time and the consequences of the way that the world works. They joined together eventually, their dreams merging into one, discovered that at least one of those dream figures at some point had been taken over by someone else who walked in dreams. And then, gradually, hours pass, and you begin to wake. Sybil, you have been in more of a trance state than awake, witnessing this split of vision between all of them. Like a shadowy, illusory overlay to the visions that you saw passing through their minds is the room around you. And you can feel when gradually morning does come, but you are trapped watching and witnessing and unable to affect what you are seeing or what they are going through. Images superimposed over each other, but catching moments here and there, able to focus on one or another. And you actively feel when gradually Balder is the first to begin to wake up.
He doesn't say anything. He just sits up and just holds himself, just staring straight ahead like he just saw a ghost.
Sleep well?
Not worse than usual.
Yeah. Yeah. Listen, actually, no, never mind. That's not important. Huh. Are you okay?
Yeah.
Like actually okay? Like,
Mm-hmm.
okay? Just asking.
Just don't.
Yeah, oh, okay.
I'm
Sure.
good. I'm
Okay.
good.
Okay. Yeah.
Are you? Did you sleep at all? Are you okay? How are you
No,
doing?
I don't
Mm-hmm.
think so.
How are you not sure?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. Would
It.
you like some? Do you want some jerky? I
Yeah.
still have some.
Yeah, I really
All right.
do. That
I'll
sounds
hand.
great, actually.
I'll hand you a jerky and just start
Jerky
eating
or
mine.
tea solve everything.
Sitting there together, like silently munching jerky,
Staring into the distance.
just
So,
like pointedly not making eye contact with each
oh
other.
yeah. So, uninjured as you are, Kale, you would be the next to wake up, especially as Sybil's power eases and Peter's off, distracted by Balder waking and attempting to process via beef jerky.
I don't think Kale wakes in a calm manner. I think they are sleeping 1 second and then they like and like thrash themselves awake because they were in the middle of trying to fly people back to the ground when they woke. So they literally thrash around and like flail for a second before they realize that it was just a dream. It's just a dream, right? And then they'll sort of half sit up and like, all right.
So, Kale was also on the bed, right? Because the bed was huge. So that would also wake you up, Jax, because you are wounded and the bed is, like someone in the bed near you is thrashing around.
I don't. He does not move. He just opens his eyes.
Sick.
Uh,
We are
Is
so
it-
fucked.
is it next watch yet? Do you need? What happened?
Good morning.
It's light out.
Yeah.
Did you wake us, Sybil?
No. We should talk. All of us. Jax, are you okay?
I'm fine.
We should check your wounds. You were in a very bad way last night. God, give
She
me a
didn't
moment.
use a knife or anything, so everything should be inside like it should be, so it's fine. Although I think
don't move.
I think my liver moved. No, it's in the right place. Hey, we should probably. I know you said we should talk. We should probably leave first. Because are we in that council dude's place?
We are. You're not really in a position to move, Jax.
No,
it's totally fine. I will be all right.
No, please.
Putting a hand on your chest to try and like hold you.
The thing is that he's not tried to move at all, or more so,
Or he has but hasn't.
He's just
stay down. I'm not sure how we're going to move you, but we will find some way.
I'll be just give me like 20 minutes and
No.
I'll be just fine. No, it's great.
Maybe actually you go back to sleep, Jax. We can.
It's fine.
Talk.
I can listen.
And I'm going to try and do like some kind of first aid, like just sort of touch, see if his ribs are broken, listen to your chest,
that's tender. Okay.
See if you've got like a rattle in your lungs.
So are you trained at all in medicine, healing, anything like that? Okay. So this is... You know that he is injured.
Does this hurt?
So you know that he is injured and he doesn't have any like open wounds or things sticking out. Things, as far as you can tell, are not misshapen. That is obvious through observation. That's the word
I'm
obvious.
Good at reading people, though. Is he
Yeah,
in pain?
He is obviously in pain.
Obviously.
So to understand anything beyond that, as you have not gotten training, that is going to be a high DC intellect roll. Yeah. So your task difficulty on this is a 6.
I believe in you.
I will put an effort.
You can put in effort because
Kale's gonna kill Jax.
Yeah, I'm just.
Kale's gonna be like,
I don't know
worry,
what's wrong with
this will fix you.
Yeah, it's great. It's fine.
Need an ear nail.
Somehow
rolled an
pulls out a
18.
hacksaw.
you rolled an 18.
I'll take an
Meets
18.
it, beats it. Yeah,
Oh,
meets it, beats it, and you put on effort, so that's over. Yeah, that's over.
I'm firing on all cylinders this morning.
Yeah, so
Anything to not
he
feel
has
the
internal
music.
bleeding.
That's fine.
He has internal bleeding. The way that it is bruising and the bruise has shifted with him laying down and the swelling. He has internal bleeding. You have not seen people recover from internal bleeding like this before without medical interference, but you've also never seen people call lightning by forming a fist. You have no idea who would be able to help with that. He also does indeed have a couple of broken bones, and like it looks like his jaw was dislocated and popped back into place.
So yeah, I've like dragged my robe onto me, and I'm poking various bits. I like hold still. Does this hurt? How about this? Don't move that.
everything hurts. It was fine though.
Pico, do we still have water? Can you boil something? I think I have willow bark.
Okay.
Jax, you absolutely should not move. Just lie there. Sybil, Mulder. It's not good.
Oh, yeah, beef jerky.
A little late for beef jerky, I think.
He's
But
Well, I mean,
bleeding
for
on the
eating,
inside.
it's food's healthy.
I don't know. If it was a normal person, I don't know that they would survive wounds like these. Not without severe medical attention, but it's Jax. He's fought bears. I don't know. There's definitely broken bones.
Hey, buddy. Are you thirsty?
Are you talking to me?
Yeah.
Sure, I could go for something to drink.
All right, I'll put a bottle of like some alcohol that I've stolen, and then just open it, just pour it directly into Jax's mouth.
okay, well, like prop him up
Please,
first.
please
Well,
don't waterboard someone.
You're fine. I've done this
Jax just
before.
welcomes it. He
Yeah.
just gulps.
Also,
Just
just
gulps it down.
if you give me about 10 minutes, the willow tea will be ready. That should help to ease the pain a little bit.
You got alcohol?
I mean, I'm telling you, give me like 20 minutes. I'll be right as rain. Don't worry
Do
about it.
not move.
I'm gonna
Try to
start
sleep.
feeding him some jerky, just piece by piece. Just
Okay,
Aw.
just head up a little bit so that he doesn't choke on it. Just
keep me fine.
No, hold on. Could you do me a favor though? Could you,
Yeah.
if you grab my jaw for me for a second?
oh my god.
I'm sorry. You what?
No, grab it. Right.
What?
You can
No,
move
my
it.
jaw.
Oh, okay. I'll grab
Yeah,
his
it's-
jaw.
All right. Now I want you to take your other hand and just like take the knuckle of one of the knuckles of your finger and
Right.
put it where it hinges, and then
Okay.
just press real hard.
Oh, you just want me to set it back in place?
No, it's in place, but it's there's some eyes do. You just do it real quick.
Sure. I'll do whatever it is that I've been asked to do.
Okay.
And he's like, you hear you hear this like pop. It's like, okay, cool beans. Thank you.
Um, you're welcome. Oh, I actually can't do that. I realized I have a tentacle.
Tentacle. Yeah, tentacle.
You hold with the
if you grab it,
So
if you
I'm
grab
holding
it,
your,
draws
I'm
like
holding your
tentacle.
jaw with my tentacle.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Just a little.
So when I pull it out, it just goes. This is just like the suction sound of the little. Yeah.
Oh, nice. They got the blood circulating there. That's so cool.
Puffing on his chin.
Yeah. So, are you going to do your action level recovery
Yes.
roll? Okay.
Yes, that's what this was.
Okay.
Oh my god.
I'm gonna roll 1d6.
Mhm.
Wait, what is? Oh, it's okay. It's plus your tier level, right? So it should be 1d6 plus 1. Oh, nice. 6.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm gonna put.
That's almost double what you had.
Wow.
It is.
I rolled a 5, so that's 6 total.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna spread them across my things.
So, what is your speed currently at?
It is now at 4, and so is my
Okay.
bike.
That's how many
Okay.
feet you can move a day.
It was
No.
at 1. I put 3 into both my might and speed.
Okay. So that means that other than like the endorphin rush of combat, you can move at like half your normal walking speed. Because that is half of average.
After that, he like sits up kind of slowly.
Oh, don't.
Okay. Whoop, whoop.
No, it's fine. Trust. Just give me some. If you give me like,
Some jerky?
another.
Oh,
If you give me
minutes.
like,
At least
give me like an hour,
let us
I'll be fine.
grab your ribs. I don't want them to shift around, puncture anything.
You'll be fine.
During the course of this role play, I'm gonna use the last 2 recovery rules that I have left. I want you to know.
Oh.
But,
Oh, yeah.
but
Yeah,
did
so
you
you've got
really
like
agree
a
on
10
that
minute and an hour left.
yeah.
Potion? No pulse.
Did I actually make any before I fully passed the fuck out?
Um,
I know that I was trying to before I was reading it, but I don't know how
That magic happened.
far I got in.
you were reading it, and then you noticed that Jax was sleeping fitfully, so you went over and took his hand.
Yeah.
Oh.
So, and that's when all of this activated.
I
God damn
didn't,
it, Jax.
and also, again, we should talk. Guys.
You also need some of the ingredients from your great grandfather's.
And
That's
probably
true.
his lab.
And also to just not be here anymore.
Yeah.
Here, Jax, have some jerky.
Thanks.
Can you
Seriously?
actually eat it, or do you need me to feed it to you?
You're giving him like the
it's fine.
hardest possible thing to eat.
On a broken jaw.
Broken jaw. He's just gonna suck on it for a while.
He takes it very slowly, and then he grabs it. And he just
Yeah, it's like
I'm just gonna
a
pat
meat
you in the back.
flavored.
Good
Yeah, it's a
job.
meat
Yeah,
flavored
that was good.
lollipop.
To make you some beef broth. Just soak it in some hot water.
Yeah, I mean, Kayla's really distractedly putting together tea at this point. They've got goji berries and willow bark and all of the healing things that they carry with them into just one
Yeah.
big mess. It's
Oh,
not
yeah.
going to taste amazing, but it'll help.
It's gonna be so weird. It's gonna be so weird tasting. But whatever. Whatever.
Tea and beef jerky. What a great breakfast.
They've reserved a little bit of hot water for themselves too, and they're like, Pico, you said something about tea going opposite for us. So caffeine settles you down?
It's not that it's really opposite. It's just that tea in general helps to settle us.
Wonderful.
Well,
I'm going to make the strongest yerba mate that I have.
And
myself.
he's in
Keel's hands are shaking.
Yeah, he's in teapot form, so it's the mouth of the teapot talking to you.
Yeah. Great.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna shakily make
This is
some
the
yerba
first
mate
time
and
Bob
just
has seen
down
this.
it.
No.
Is the teacup speaking right now?
Yeah, it's normal actually.
I'm just gonna start
Surprisingly.
downing my alcohol. Just
No, okay, hold on, please. We should
what?
maybe be a little bit sober to face the
Yeah,
consequences of
Love
our
to not be
actions.
sober right now, but did it? You all seem shaken.
Oh,
This is just how I normally look.
Were
almost died.
Did you have odd dreams last night? Any of you?
This is a dream.
It was mostly about boats, so
that wasn't all of it, though.
And you were there, and you were there.
oh, you dreamt about
I
me.
was there.
You were in my dreams as well.
No. That's not good. It's same.
I feel like now might be a good time to tell you that I also was kind of there.
Were you the faceless people? Was this dream or the previous one? I can't remember.
I don't know. I mean, okay, so you know how dreams work. You don't know how you know something, you just know something. That is just watch. Don't make that face. You've done those before where you watch a dream and you know that, I'm not making sense. But
Nothing makes sense this morning. It's perfectly fine.
if you saw everything, you guys had really weird dreams, and I don't know what that means for us. As a
Hang
group?
on. Hang on. You're saying you
Saw
you
our
saw? Yeah, that's my question.
dreams.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at each of the others. We were in the same dream.
Well, are you sure? How do you, what was your dream about, Kale?
Oh, far too much. But the parts that you were in, there
Right.
was a city falling from the clouds. Do you remember that?
No. I remember things falling.
I do remember that. Yeah.
That was a city.
Yeah.
Oh, it was just rocks.
And both of you
I
were
mean-
falling, and I caught you.
I tend to do that. Yeah.
Yeah. Was that before or after the boat?
And we were also on a boat. And your
That's
aunt
probably
was there.
mine.
Yeah, I dreamed about my aunt. Yeah.
Oh, that was actually. Oh, well, I'm so sorry.
How is it that we all had the same dream?
Well, if I might venture a guess,
I point to Sybil.
I look at Sybil.
We're just all staring at you now.
Sybil's just like staring out a window, being like, I don't know. No idea.
Dale takes another really long swig of their tea, and then it's like,
I'm also alcoholism.
I bite my beef jerky.
bring the brewing tea over to Jax and be like, sip at this very slowly. And do drink it all.
Drink the whole thing.
Right.
Yeah, it's
Shoot it. Just shoot it.
it is bitter and somehow both fruity and musky at the same time.
Like a gay detective, not from a noir movie from the 50s.
Yeah.
This reminds
Exactly how to
me.
describe it.
Yeah.
This reminds me of fighting wolves for some reason.
Yeah.
I'm
Okay.
gonna put my head in my hands and just sit on the edge of the bed for a minute.
Okay. So, apart from the invasion of privacy of looking into our dreams, with
I
partners,
didn't
we
do
could
it
have
on
been doing our-
purpose.
What does
I don't know.
it's so you saw my dream, like all of it?
Yeah. I don't really know why you're
Go ahead, be judgeful. It's okay.
I was just gonna say I think Ace was really mean.
All right, that was not what I thought you would say, and now I'm offended. You don't know my story. You don't know what you're talking about.
They were
What,
really
talk
mean
about
to
Tails
you.
people. They were mean. I'm sure, probably.
I mean, as
Is
far as I
that who
understand,
you
that
are
wasn't
missing?
really.
Is that who you're looking for?
What, Ace? Yeah.
And I thought
I mean,
you
Ruby.
I thought you said they were younger. For some reason were they not older than you?
Yeah, they're older than me.
I
You were
thought that
just a child on the boat. Sometimes. Not all the time.
What did you say? I was a child.
Yes.
Oh yeah, I do that sometimes. Like in my dreams.
What did you dream of, Jax?
Yeah, good question.
While
Let's
we
dig in
were-
over there.
All together on the boat.
Nothing really wild. Just my aunt, really.
no.
Oh, I saw the passage of time as if I was launching it in fast paces. I don't know, something about thousands of years passing by in seconds, and also the rises and falls of civilizations and all the stuff about
There were
stuff.
people that looked like kinder. Right? I remember
Yes.
that.
Let's see what
Yes,
that's
they
right.
were.
I was
think-
watching Miss City, I believe. I met your. I think I met your grandpa.
Oh, was that him?
That's my best guess. I don't know. He was in a tower
No,
doing all
that's
magic stuff. And it seemed like your grandpa. I feel like. Oh gosh. Oh, That's a rib.
So you
I
saw
can't breathe too
all
hard.
of that then, Sybil, like all of our dreams?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm going to lie down for a moment. just fall over.
Okay.
Would you like some jerky to kill?
Sure. Just like chew on it.
We should honestly seriously leave here though. It's just, I fought Sabar just outside. You know what I mean? So like, oh god.
Yeah,
It's all right. I can handle the guards.
you couldn't have walked more. You couldn't have taken a couple more steps away from where we were. Listen.
I mean, there was a guard right there, and I was just like, "Oh wait," you know. There was a whole thing that happened, and the guard was like, "Who are you?" And I was like, "I'm me." And then they were like, "Oh, you're the one that kidnapped the symbol." Like, I don't know who that is. And then they were like, "I gotta arrest you." And I was like, "You tried, I'll kill you." But then they were like, "Oh," they got scared. And then I was like, "Go get some bar." And they were like, "You better not move." And I'll stay here. And I'm a man of my word, so I stayed there. So when this bar came, and
here's the thing, though, we have not done anything wrong, and yet Sabah beat you nearly to death and left you to die in the streets.
She also is going with the lie, which I know she knows is not true, of the whole like we kidnapped. I was trying to play it cool. Like, I don't know who that is, because I wanted to see if she would out herself and say that she knew that she saw us with. And then I was gonna be like, how would you know? That, and then because because then it would be we could implicate her in some of the stuff, and then we'd have some dirt on. But I don't know. But then we started fighting, and then I got excited because she's really strong. Did I mention she was strong? She nearly killed me. It's amazing.
Sybil's just like very gently, just like patting Jax's shoulder, and just like, "That's okay, bud. That was so much energy." Just like, you're doing so good. At least his brain is
Thank you.
Jax. Why are you alive? Hold on. You're gonna say something that is not what I mean. I mean, why didn't she just either capture you or kill you? That's what doesn't work for me.
That myself.
Like, if I wanted to kill someone, not that I've ever done that, I would either kill you or like capture you.
Well, we shared a moment. You see, when two fighters love each other very much in battle,
are you giving me this? Okay, no, hold on.
And so, oh god, hold on, I can't laugh. Ow. Oh. Yeah. It's no. She said something about her, liking me, and that's why. Not her, but someone. She in reference to someone else. She's like, "You're lucky that she likes you." To which, when I thought about it, the only person I can think of is
Saldai.
Yeah, so, yeah, that's who it was. Yeah, really cool
Jax,
person.
you told us that it was Sabah in the dreams.
Hmm.
You told us in our dream on the boat that it was Sabah that you fought.
Yeah.
Do you? And I'll like pat your shoulder gently and be like, "Do you remember my apology?"
Yes.
Good.
And
good.
Don't worry about it. You're okay.
Do not run off and get yourself killed again, though. I think we all need to be together through this.
I wanted to. Yeah. He just gets quiet for a second.
So, question.
Mm-hmm.
That person that you mentioned, whatever the name was, who was that? No, I've heard of her.
Saldai.
Her dad, yes.
Saldai is Sabah's assistant, but she is more inclined towards way of thinking than Sabar is. Saldai is from Deep View, as I am, and I'm sure that they have seen how the council is trying to wrest control of magic away from the common people.
Then, if that's the case, if I may be so bold as to suggest a course of action, then rather than just sit here and talk amongst ourselves, why don't we just go over and parlay with them?
Tried
Just
that. It didn't fight.
No.
Oh, God.
I'm Jax, you're brilliant. You're not excited to talk at the time.
I don't know what you think happened up there, but I did try to talk to her. It just ended in a fight. She wanted to fight, so we fought.
Right.
When you
But
start a conversation, the way that I'm assuming that you started a conversation, you don't really leave any other alternatives than fighting. So I kind of understand what Baldur's saying.
I mean, no, I didn't say I came here to fight or anything. I just,
First things first, though, we should find some way to move Jax. I don't think that we can stay here much longer.
Move him where?
Can I do my 10-minute recovery roll?
If I
The safest thing to do would be to go back underground, as much as I hate that idea. But if we figure out that potion, perhaps we can heal the damage that was done to him.
I actually don't agree.
For GM reference, I'm using my chaotic thing and I'm re-rolling this die.
Yeah.
Because I rolled a 1 and I'm not doing that.
Valid.
You hurt yourself worse.
A 2. Okay, cool.
That's sick.
Oh, no.
Baldur, what do you mean you don't agree?
I don't. Okay, here's the thing. If you know somebody's setting a trap for you, right? Giving them time, the only thing that does is it allows them to reinforce the trap.
Okay, but what's the trap?
The lie, you two being the kidnappers of the captain princess, the turning you into villains, the whole magic.
You think Sabar is setting up a trap for Jackson Kaelin?
Okay, here's the thing, right? I am a firm believer that people have reasons for behaving in specific ways, right? Like people are like a leaf in the water. The circumstances of the water changes the path. The leaf doesn't really just move on its own unless something is affecting it. I don't think it's a logical thing for someone who knows we have paperwork that's incriminating to them to leave Jax live or to leave Jax free, which means that there is something there that puts pressure on her. And I think we can use this situation to our advantage. Yes?
GM. I'm going to ask this, and it's totally fine if I can't. But I feel like I should. Can I do I traded blows with someone so I kind of understand them a little bit better now? Roll. to maybe figure that out.
Yes, you can attempt to have exchanged understanding with your combatant. So go ahead and roll, and it's not like it's a particular DC. It's just how you roll will determine what you found out.
Alrighty. That is a 6.
A 6. So not that high, but not bad. Or not like you do have ciphers. It's a new day.
Can I do that?
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna use a different die for this one.
Okay. Yeah. No.
It's a 6 again. Okay.
Wow.
The world just does not want you to know. But yeah, so it's not like it's the lowest roll. It's not like it was a natural 1 or anything. She didn't ask you where the stuff was, though. It was never mentioned She never looked for it on you. They could have very easily searched your body before they left. But she had all of the guards turn around and walk off instead of checking you over or anything like that. She left you barely alive because, for whatever reason, you and your friends made an impression on, as far as you can tell, the assistant, and the assistant liked you. Um, Based off of the information that you learned from those stolen papers, and as direct as she seems to be when she's not doing politics, because she is very direct when talking to people, but has a little bit more of a kind of sneaky undertone with the lessons that she was attempting to impart on Sybil. Uh, Most likely, the whole trap thing isn't because she's concerned about those papers. You don't know
I
why she is. The reason why you are currently wanted is possibly a eye for an eye thing, maybe you might be able to assume. But, like, if she was more concerned about those papers, this is not what the
Yeah, because the papers
reaction would have
basically
been.
said that like counselor Buchan, or not Buchan, your uncle was the one that has
Harper.
like disappeared people and um, has basically been involved with a lot of real shady dealings. We have proof of that.
Yeah, and the counselor whose house you are currently staying in has basically stolen businesses and business from up and comers and uh, basically kept a monopoly on the market and other like shady dealings of other council members.
Yeah,
And Sybil, having heard some of the names being mentioned, you know that a lot of those people your uncle gets along with, but Sabar doesn't.
It appears I, as a player, have misunderstood the contents of the paper.
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
That's why she's not
Jax,
worried because yeah,
It
it's
doesn't. I don't
yeah.
know
It
why my
shows
brain
that
was
she
like,
helped cover it up. It shows that she helped cover it up, but it's not illegal shit that she did other than covering up for other people.
um, Jax, like for a moment, like there's always been this sort of like I don't know how to like this like behind his eye, almost nothing. Like he just goes off instinct. But like now, there's just like more like thoughtful look in his eye, and he just goes, "Well, I mean, um, I don't think, I think I think she's putting on a show, at least partially. I mean, she
for
left me,
who?
right? I mean, I mean, besides the like whole self die likes me thing or likes us as a group in general, like she could have killed me. She could have, you know, I don't know if she thought maybe I just wouldn't be carrying them, but she also could have just looked for the papers on me, but she didn't. She just left me there and took the guards with her. So I mean, it's quite possible that she's like, I don't know. I get this feeling. There's a whole thing when you fight someone, you can kind of understand them a little bit better. You ever feel that? You ever
yeah,
get that?
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm
Just
trying to try and logic my way
she,
through this because I'm very good at reading people, and I got a read on her back at her house.
Yep.
So I'm
So
gonna
based
try
off of all of
and
the information, you can
yeah,
make another
reading people
very
slash
similar.
is what I am
Yeah,
trained in.
yeah, very similar to the Jax roll. It's not a difficulty class. It's a based off what you roll. I will
Cool.
tell you what you would be able to figure out.
That is a 12,
12. Uh, Bit better. Um,
and I'm trained. I don't know if that helps.
yeah. So you're putting stuff together. You know that there is difficulties in the city. There have been difficulties in the city since before you were born. A lot of it is hidden, a lot of it is handled by her department. So this isn't anything new to her. But stuff is hidden, and it's her job to keep it hidden. And when there are difficulties, there's also the job of finding someone to pin the blame on. You actually kind of suspect that it might have been Sybil's uncle that put the bounty out on you and Jax for kidnapping her. And that Sabar is doing her job.
So I'll have a think for a moment, and then I'll go. I think she doesn't wholeheartedly agree with her orders. She was not the one that wanted us captured or is framing us for kidnapping. I think that may be why she left you, Jax. She doesn't want Harper to get his way, but she can't outright defy him.
You're muted, or you're just mouthing to yourself. I don't know. You're silent.
Yeah,
You are
yeah,
silent.
Oh,
Mic issues, probably.
Jax just goes. His speed is now 7, by the way.
Okay, yay.
Jax just goes. Oh well, then all we gotta do is
Yeah. So there is a mic issue.
Corruption.
Confirmed in chat. Maggie will get that fixed and come back into roleplay. But yeah. So yeah, as far as you can tell, it might be Harper. Not necessarily pulling the strings. You know that within the council, they're all supposed to have equal power. Both of them are council members. But based off of what Sybil has talked about, there are factions and allies within it.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Oh,
We heard that.
Great.
Yeah.
The question, like, Sybil has a question.
Yeah.
It's like if she didn't want to go against her orders, but then didn't want Harper to get what he wanted, then what is the point of just leaving Jax for dead and us getting him? Like, who's learning the information that she fought Jax and left him alone?
we are.
I personally don't think it was a sort of. I think it was a. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, Jim, but Jax just goes. I think it was more of a. Again, when you fight someone, you kind of understand them. So if I'm correct in this assumption, I think it was a you handle it type of thing. You know, it's like leave your life so you can do, because she can't. When you think about it, right? She can't, right? Legally, technically, she can't. So best bet is to rely on outside help.
But wouldn't
There were
she
also
have-
the witnesses of all of the other guards there to see her beat the shit out of you and leave you dead in the streets as a warning to your friends. She even said, as she was walking away, leave the body for the others.
I'll tell y'all. She said.
Yeah.
So
she
this
also
was
said stuff we didn't think.
intimidation, not just for us, but for anyone else in the city who might step out of line. I don't like these tactics very much at all.
We could ask her.
Do you enjoy
if
being
we-
an alive person?
Yes. I think if we go after her, we will all suffer Jax's fate.
No,
Well,
He's alive.
Barely. And
Person
only
that-
if
A
we do
person
this
that wants
again.
to kill is going to kill. they didn't kill Jax, which means we're not going to be killed. She can't put a finger in you, Sybil. She doesn't know who I am.
Your
So-
logic is so flawed.
What's okay? What's the flaw in my logic?
If you almost drown, are you necessarily excited about getting back into the ocean? Because if the
I
ocean
have
could
almost
kill
drowned
you, it
before.
wouldn't. It would have killed you, right? That's
Well,
your
this,
logic.
okay. First off, two things: ocean, not sentient.
You know, the way things
As
are
far
going,
as
I'm
we
not
know.
sure that's true.
That's a good point. However, also bad example. You're talking to a sailor. Do you think I haven't almost drowned a million times in my life, and I keep sailing the seas?
No, but you understand that like something almost killing you does not necessarily mean that they will always almost kill you. They will just do the whole thing next time. You don't know.
I'm not sure that I'm up for this conversation right now.
Sorry,
I just
I
I'm
understand.
such in
No,
days.
hold on. I
we
I am
need
all.
an immediate plan, and then we can sort out machinations of the
don't-
city
I
later.
don't disagree, but I do want to say something before we continue with that line of thought. We keep bringing up problems. No one except myself seem to be thinking about solutions to those problems. This situation is a situation that I am assisting in because we made a deal that you would help me find Ace. The longer this situation continues, the lesser I want to remain within it. I can walk away. I am offering my existence as an entity who they do not perceive as a threat to assist you in making your lives easier. I think you, and I point at Sybil, are more than enough to, at the very least, manage the situation from a completely different angle. They are the ones that are publicly enemy number one. But you're free to move around. You're the victim in their eyes. You can free yourself from their shackles and return to society as a good person, which gives you the opportunity to communicate with individuals that you would not necessarily be able to communicate with. You
And if
clearly
I
don't want
may
to.
add,
You clearly don't want to fight, but you don't also want to talk. The problem isn't going to magically go away. Clearly. So what do you want?
and I'll add this too. And Jax has like big grin on his face. I saw how she fights. I saw her moves. She's fast. But the same tricks don't work on me twice.
I would also like to point out that despite what you may believe, I haven't survived my entire more than a decade as a sailor purely on my good looks. I know how to handle myself. If she comes after us, I can stop her.
I mean, Jackson can stop her.
I'm not Jax. He has his skills, I have my own.
You asked me what I want, and I don't know the answer to that question. I don't know. I want all of this to go away, and I want all of it to keep going so I get to stay with my friends. I don't know. I don't know how to fix this. I didn't ask for any of this to happen.
Then trust that we will find a solution and that I want your situation to be fixed because it also benefits me. If you don't trust me, that's fine, but trust that I am greedy enough that I want my situation to advance. And in doing so, and in helping you more specifically, I am able to do that.
Your uncle's rotten to the core, though.
Yeah,
It's him that set all this in motion.
probably.
He needs to be dealt with. But I don't know how to do it at this point. And my main concern is for the people of Deepview. They're the ones who are going to get hit hardest by his vendetta?
If I not to not to sound like I'm, you know, what's the word? Fed up? No, it's not right. It's close enough though. Not to sound like that, I guess. I mean, one of the reasons why I wanted to tell the council or talk to the council or went to Sabar in general was because whether we like it or not, magic is coming back. The longer we sit here, the more of it comes back, and the more people are in danger, which is why I wanted to deal with the problem as soon as possible. Which may have been a mistake, although it was a fun mistake. But we have to take action, and we can talk about it some more. It's totally fine, but we do
Also,
need to do something.
we need to heal you so that you do not die.
I swear,
And
give me an
then we
hour, I'll be
can-
okay.
Think about bigger issues, I
The
think.
number keeps going up. You keep. Before everything last night, I was going through the journals, and I think I should be able to do some kind of like regenerative. I don't want to call it a potion, but some kind of regenerative tincture. But we're missing some of the ingredients, and we could probably find them back down in Vukan's study. So, Jax, if you're up for a bunch of stairs, this is like the worst possible place to bring a person with dislocated ribs and internal bleeding. But we could go there and decide what we want to do next. Or, I mean, we're here. We can. Balder, did you have a different idea?
I think we should talk to this Sabar lady.
I don't know what talking to her directly is going to accomplish.
It's probably going to accomplish more than sitting around at the basement licking our wounds.
If I'm being honest, it's probably because she was in front of a bunch of guards that couldn't talk to her normally. That's quite possible. She might want to talk to us, actually
don't
talk to
know.
us if we find her by herself. I'm gonna take
If
my
it
hour
is-
recovery roll.
Useful to talk to Sabah, but I do agree that the people of the city need to know the situation that's happening. That you are not kidnapped, that this is a lie meant to keep them quiet during this time of upheaval, and that there are things that the city council is hiding from them. I don't know the best way to do that. I'm sorry.
I mean,
Um,
best is relative, but
My
In their
speed
ways.
is now 14 out of 15.
wow, healing right before our eyes.
Wow.
Yeah,
He did
like
say to
he
give him an hour.
does. Yeah, he does look significantly better. Something about either just being awake or having time, he's moving better. The bruising is still very obviously there, but
jerky.
he doesn't have as much of a hitch to his movement.
I'm like, all right, I'm ready to go now. And he'll stand up. He's like,
Whoa,
oh,
whoa,
Oh, careful, careful.
Yeah.
Do you need
no,
a
no, it's
tentacle?
fine. No, I'm moving okay.
All right.
Okay.
I just.
Said you give me like an hour, it's fine.
Define what our problems are, and then we can work towards a solution.
All right. First of all, magic coming back is not a problem. That's simply
Let's
the state.
let's walk and
right?
talk,
So-
yeah?
Yeah, let's walk.
Down, up, out. Where we
Down.
going?
You
Down.
said you.
To the lab.
I feel like we can't go out the front door. So,
Have you seen Scott?
did you lose another companion?
Scott.
Scott's
Where
a
is-
rat.
Oh,
Pico, have you seen Scott?
So
Not for a while.
Yeah, I'm sure he'll come back.
sure they'll be fine.
Was he with you when Sabah?
Was he? I don't think so.
You
when did
moved
he
way
when
too
did he
fast
get
for
my
him to
shoulder?
keep up with you.
Yeah,
So even
he
if he
was sitting on my
was
shoulder. Right?
present, yeah, even if he was present,
He did explode.
even if he wasn't
But
present, you're
nobody's
not
fault.
quite sure when you lost track of him.
He was on my shoulder for a while, although I'm not sure. It could have either been in that place with the weird wall where I saw the eyes, or it could have been, or it could have been like at any point when I was coming up the stairs.
Eyes.
Weird wall.
Eyes?
Yeah, the wall that like made us all go.
Oh, yes. There was
Oh,
eyes
Yeah,
in
yeah.
so,
there.
yeah, I saw eyes in there. Oh, I didn't tell you that. Yeah.
No.
Wait, is it like the ones in the sky? Like on the ship?
Yeah, the one that they've been watching me for some reason. I don't know why.
Someone
didn't-
else was in our
you-
dreams.
Oh yeah, the fucker
Someone
that replaced
besides me.
Ace.
Yeah, it could have been my aunt.
Your aunt punched them.
out
Yeah.
and they and said something about
would
them not being here. Told us to watch out.
Oh, we're walking and talking, right? Like,
Yeah.
We're gonna go open the door,
Okay, yeah,
open the
okay.
Yeah.
wall, and go down the stairs. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just making sure. So eyeballs and Scott aside, I think we need to talk about what we can. That's for later. I think we need to talk about our immediate and forward plans.
Also, Jax, if you feel fatigued at all while we're walking down, tell us. I'm going to be watching you.
Do you want some more alcohol?
Fine.
We've got some wine.
I'll let you know for one. It's fine. I'm fine. I'm okay. Trust me. I've been through much worse situations than this.
It's fair. Just for I wanted to clarify. When two groups of people are kind of going at it, right, in a bad way, not a fun way, they usually all it does is lead to conversation, right? In a war, two people fight. At the end of the day, they have to come to peace. It's just a matter of how many people either side is willing to lose before they converse. I think the only reason I keep pushing for talking is because the thing that always ends up being necessary. We could beat up the guard. We could amass, I don't know, the magic people of the city. But at the end of the day, conversation has to happen. And if you truly believe that this Sabat lady may not be 100% on board with the people that is making all of this a problem, it would make sense that she's someone that could potentially lead us to that person in a form that we couldn't approach them normally. And I think that's really the big issue we have right now. It's the fact that there's a bounty on the two of your heads.
I would also like just a roll from each of you.
Oh boy.
Just in general.
Just
Okay.
A roll.
Just any
some
roll.
kind of
Just-
roll.
Yeah, just a
A
d20.
roll.
I'll roll a
Just roll a
d12 and a
thing.
d8 for you.
I just
11.
I just got here. Me? What?
Roll a die. Roll a
10.
die.
That's a 5 from me.
That's a 10.
Oof, we're doing great.
Okay.
None of
Okay.
us broke 15.
Not 20, come on.
17.
17.
Hey.
Nice.
I don't
One
know
of us
what
is
Uh,
paying attention.
As Balder is talking about the necessity of conversation with Sabar, and Sabar maybe even being able to lead you guys to who the actual problem is, etc., which, Kale, you are sure that it's just the council in general. Sybil, this kind of makes sense due to your frustration with that going to Sabar is just too dangerous. You are sure of that. You also hear a faint sound in the distance. And it's not like the sound of footsteps. It's almost like thunder, or maybe an explosion somewhere.
Down or up?
Yeah.
Like, just kind of in the distance. It's not like it's echoing up from the stairwells. It's like there's multiple layers of rock or walls between you and wherever it happened. You're the only one that hears it, though, because you're the only one that rolled high enough.
But you guys
Yeah, I'm sorry. The wheezing
no?
is hard with broken ribs. Yeah, I
Oh,
can't get rid of it.
You're
Listen,
fine.
I know I was talking. I'm sorry. I can't. That's my voice. It's can't really change it.
You okay? You do change it frequently. Um,
It's true.
no, there was
What
like
are
a
you talking about?
there's like an explosion sound. I don't know. It sounded
Where?
like it was far away. I don't like. I don't know.
Mm,
Jax is immediately on guard.
Oh yeah,
From where?
I feel bad for whoever blew it up.
I don't know. It just I mean, it sounded like we were separated from it, but I don't.
Pico, did you hear anything?
Roll for Pico.
Sure.
Tentacle, did you
Roll the
hear
Pico
anything?
20. Oh my god. Nat
Nice.
20.
Yeah, like Pico kind of crawls out of your bag and like sniffs at the air and goes, "Yeah, I'm not sure if it was like thunder or like a
What does it mean?
or a rock fall or something,
Could
but
be
it
a
was
cannon.
far away,
Do you know the direction? Was it from the surface
Not
or from the depths?
not from in here."
Sounds like not a problem for us.
Well,
Just
that doesn't change our plans, right? We'll heal Jax and then sort things out.
sure. I'm just a little jumpy. Sorry.
I think we all are.
I feel like jumpiness is in moderate amounts is very helpful out at sea.
I'm telling you, give me like a day and I'll be fine. Trust.
That
It does just get
going up. You just maybe we can make something that'll shorten that. How about that?
No, just I just need a day. It's fine.
Also, do you know if you have family that can also dream walk?
Oh,
Like, is it a family thing or is it a you thing?
I don't think it's a family thing. Although there was something, not necessarily dreaming, but when I was in your dream, Baldur, either right before or right after, I don't know, it was during that same thing. I saw Vukan, and he was doing something with what did you call it? The wall with the eyes. He
Yeah,
was
that
doing
was
something.
That was my
yeah, that
dream.
wasn't during the dream. That was when you guys were actually down there.
was
When
after.
you got
Vision.
yeah,
It
you
was
yeah,
the
when you
vision.
got
I've
shocked by
not
the
seen a
fact that you
wall
stuck
or
your
eyes.
hand into the
Listen.
suspicious
Into
liquid.
magic.
Man,
Just put your hand
Listen.
in raw magic. It's fine.
I was trying to be scientific about it. I had a
Yeah.
flask and everything. It's not my fault. My hands are incorporeal.
Yeah, your hands and you do still have that flask, by the way. I let you keep the liquid, the flask
Flask
of
of magic.
the flask
I
of
wonder what
magical
happens when you drink it.
surgeons.
I'll do it.
Well,
Kale
I-
knows
I-
what
I was
happens.
also gonna
No,
think
Kale
about
knows
it.
what
That's what-
happens.
I know what happens. That's what Vukan was using the stuff to like make his power stronger.
Right.
What?
Yeah.
Sybil is just staring intently at Jax now, like,
Yeah.
I'll drink it. I'm telling you, I will. I'm not.
No?
Would that
It
make
did-
you more
it didn't-
tentatively then?
It didn't kill us, so
Is
I'm
that
fine.
your- Is your power just tentacle?
I don't know. Is the only thing I know maybe it'll make me shaman.
You were
Didn't you
also
do that
good
thing with
at
water?
that, though.
Yeah.
Water?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. Maybe I can be more watery.
He technically did it with beer, but normally he does it with water.
Forgets that you're a whole
I have
waterbender.
I have the power of alcoholism on my side.
No.
Speaking of,
Boulder
Really,
carries
you
so much
go
booze. You
upstairs.
carry more booze than the drunken master monk in my other campaign. You just always have it on you.
so my inspiration is Gaara from Naruto. He has the gourd
Yeah.
full of
Oh yeah.
sand. I have a
Yeah.
satchel bag full of alcohol.
Just
Yeah.
have like a camelback full of.
Yeah.
Just
Stay
sip
ready
at
so
it
you don't gotta
every once
get
in a while.
ready, you know?
Hold on,
Jeez.
we're gonna fight. Okay. This will the alcohol out of myself.
Just hold on. Anyway,
Just hold on.
But yeah,
that's so
as you
gross.
were saying with the potion of magical surgeons.
Eyeball wall.
Yeah, the place with the magic, the like liquid that was coming out, and it was. You were there. It was right before everything went wrong.
Right, it was nobody's fault at all. But eyeball
Very,
wall,
very
I
passed out,
I
yeah.
don't think it was an eyeball wall, an eye wall, if you will. When I was there,
Yeah, I mean, we were all there at the same time. But yeah.
does it actually look like eyeballs? Because I thought it was an
No, there were just eyeballs in it. There was eyes that were looking at.
Well, right, but that's not what I.
Thing
I don't
is-
think that's what I saw though.
Watching
You
us.
did
Yeah.
not see that.
So, I don't know, maybe. If I'm the only one to see it, maybe it's watching me for some reason. Either way, it's fine. It's not doing anything.
Why would we be watched?
I mean, why would I be watched?
Yeah.
I don't know.
There's something odd about all of us, which
I
is a
thought a lot
very
of
good
people-
reason to watch us.
But nothing that's any more or less weird than what's gonna happen to everybody else when magic comes back.
I
Yeah.
think it may just be happening to us first.
I think the problem is that magic is back, like already.
Yeah. See, that's it. That's the one. That's it. It is. That's why we have it. That's why we're doing it. It's just gonna slowly get stronger. You know what I mean? It's like
Right, but
you know how you when you wake up and then you're like, oh, but then after a few minutes you're like, I'm back, and that's
course.
what's happening.
Ah.
You went to sleep, and now it's it's getting through the grogginess of waking up, and then like soon ish. I don't know when it's magic, right? You can't. Jackson's excited when he's talking about this. He's like, it'll be fully awake, and then we'll have all the old stuff that the people had way back in the day when there was magic around, and then all that stuff will happen. It'll be cool.
In your metaphor,
is this
everyone else is still waking up, but we've chugged some coffee already.
Yes.
is this normal? Does he
Sometimes, yeah.
usually just know this information? Well, how do you know this? I thought you were supposed to be not the smart one.
My aunt told me. She told me a lot of stories about the old days.
Yeah, Jax is smart.
Yes,
Sure.
we definitely never said that.
sure. But your aunt, the one from the dream, the hot one.
Titanba.
I don't know if she's hot, but sure.
I do. She told you. How does she know?
I don't know if she knows this stuff. She's like, let me tell you stories about when there was magic, and I was like, whoa, there's magic. I was like a kid. It's all really cool. And then she's like, it goes to sleep sometimes, and then it comes back, and then it goes to sleep, and then it wakes up. It's just a cycle.
Baldur.
She told you. Yes.
Full disclosure, with in the interest of transparency,
Right.
Oh my god.
Hale and I do think that Jax's aunt is literally the a goddess. So
She said no. So.
Hang on.
Of a goddess of chaos.
She
Yeah.
said no.
That's a very good idea.
it's a working theory.
Yes.
Look, I asked her in the dream. She said she's not. So it's fine.
You asked someone who wasn't real to give you information that you already do
I am
not possess.
no longer convinced that anything in that dream wasn't in some way real.
And
don't
Sybil,
want to be a kid
you
anymore.
witnessed that part. You witnessed that part, and she specifically answered with, JJ, do I look like a god?
She never
Right.
confirmed nor denied anything.
Yes. Also,
Yeah.
JJ?
Don't do that.
Don't.
Is that what she calls you?
She called him JJ.
Is that your name? What's the second J for?
My name is Jax. She calls me that. That is what she calls me, and no one else.
No one else.
Understood.
I will punch you.
All right. Narrative.
Mm-hmm. But she didn't actually say she wasn't.
No, she said she's like, yeah, do I look like one? And I was like, yeah. And he's like, yeah, you're right.
That's
Then she
not a
proceeded
no.
to show me.
It's not an answer.
I feel
Also,
like you.
I
feel
looked
like you
at
would
her, and if
know.
there was a goddess in the flesh, it would look a lot like her.
She's real tall, right? She's cool.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what we told me
Exceedingly,
about.
exceedingly good
You
looking.
looked like a goddess.
Terrifying, but exceedingly good looking.
I feel like
Yeah.
She's the one who taught me how to fight.
I feel like being a god is kind of like being gay, and like you don't question being it unless you are it. Like normal people don't go around being like, "Do I like this?" They just no. Just, that question only comes up when you're gay. So if you had to ask your aunt about being a god, are you a god?
He'd be a demigod, first of all.
Yeah, this is a.
You don't know what if both his parents are gods.
Oh, I tell you
He's
what,
God.
she did say, what is it, God, but a powerful soul or something like that. A soul with a lot of power, something like that.
And you thought that she meant that you weren't a god? Because that's like
I
what
don't know.
gods say.
Were
I asked
you
her.
a god
I asked her
before,
some.
and you're waking up now?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Wait.
Or are you a new god?
Listen. I don't know what you're talking about. This
Oh
is
my
a
God.
lot.
There's a god called JJ.
I will punch you. I will give you precisely 2 more warnings.
Listen,
2 more?
absolutely
All right,
everything is
I
on the
can
table
say it
now.
2 more times.
I
Good to know.
would
I'll
definitely
save
2 more as
believe.
a group?
Yes.
Individually, right?
It's individual. We all get 2 more individually.
In total, I will, and only because I like you. Like if you were just some stranger and you're like, "Yo, what's up, JJ?" I would have decked you just several times by
I am
now.
so
But
glad you like me.
you're all cool.
But
But
take dibs on one of those times, just FYI.
no, look.
Yes, my lord.
Yes, JJ.
Oh, you just used it.
No, I used one of them. You can have the last one.
Oh, all right.
Let it be said that I have never used a name you do not want me to use. Remember that when you're punching.
She is my aunt.
Behind
She's
Kale.
always been my aunt. I don't know where my parents are. She said they're somewhere and that I'll meet them one day, but that's a thing.
I just look at Sybil and I'm like, yeah?
I'm not disagreeing. I don't know. We've seen Jax do some pretty ridiculous stuff, and his upbringing is also pretty ridiculous. So,
Jack, do you
Is it?
remember dying in your dream? Did you have your died and come back at any point?
Me? No.
No.
Like I said, I just watched his civilizations rise and fall.
Maybe I'm the only one. That's fine. I'll deal with that later. Don't worry about it.
I fell into the water. That's kind of like dying, if you don't like water.
That is definitely a way to die.
oh, we're just listing ways to die. Look,
Speaking of dying, Jax,
Hmm?
how are you so unfazed about the potential of you being a deity?
it's just how he is.
It doesn't change who I am. I mean, even if I was a
But it changes how
Does,
others could
though.
perceive you, and it
It does.
why?
What? What?
I'll ask you right now. If I was a god, would you all treat me any differently?
Well, no.
No.
If you were a god, would you have a different purpose than you have now?
Well, what
Something
is-
that was required of you that isn't required of just a normal mortal man.
Good question.
I've had a lot of time to think about it.
Why? You also think you're a
Jack stumped at that,
No.
that
No.
question. When you ask that, Jax is just like, yeah.
So
I'm
if I
gonna.
seem a little off today, it is because if anything in my dream was remotely real, then I have to face the very real possibility that I am not and possibly have never been human. Let's just deal with that. That's a fun thing to wake up to.
Oh, did you finally see the other U's?
I saw one other me.
Huh?
He was
Other you.
Yes, he was very old and very sad and angry because he had witnessed the murder of the other dragons as magic was dying. There were people who came to collect our blood, to take what little magic was left from it for themselves.
Hmm.
And so that's the thing I learned last night.
That's a
Maybe
vision.
if
That's
that's
the vision
true,
I had.
or maybe I've gone completely mad. Not sure yet. I haven't decided. We'll see where things go today.
I had a vision of like 7 billion of you, and like you were doing exactly that. You were fighting somebody, something, in like a big old garden. It was wild.
You.
The
Vision.
grove.
We
Well,
told Sybil about it, but we thought that we shouldn't tell you because you were like,
anyway,
you know,
definitely, you definitely shouldn't have told me. I'm still not 100% on board with it yet. I died. I'm back. It's fine. Everything's fine.
I swear there were like 9 billion of you. It was wild. It was a wild time.
It's great. Anyway, if I'm a little distracted today, don't worry about it. That's why.
What's wrong with being a monster?
They just like run a hand through their hair and laugh and like just turn around and walk in a little circle
Ah.
on the stairs. They're just like
It's- I-
nothing, absolutely nothing. Apparently,
Well,
It's
yeah,
fine.
no, there's nothing wrong with being
everything's
different.
fine. Everything's wonderful.
You're gonna be fine.
They're
Yeah.
they're not a monster.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's not. It's not. It's,
Not a monster.
Okay, we can argue semantics about what a monster is later. I do feel like
Let's keep walking. Let's
you
keep
are
walking.
not.
That is a goal that we have, is to get to the lab.
None of us are monsters. Okay? We're just blanket. None of us are monsters. Okay?
Great.
We're in
Let's
agreement?
start
None
with
of us
that.
are monsters.
Let's
None
start
of
with
us are
that.
monsters.
Baldur, you want to be a monster?
I've been treated as one.
Well, I'm very sorry for that.
Yeah, you don't grow tough. You don't get kicked a couple million times. It's all right.
You grew up on the street as well, didn't you?
Yeah. It's not easy being a kid with a tentacle arm.
I imagine it's not.
Mm-hmm. You should see the other guy though. It's a small town. It looks like it. There's a prosperous little town too.
And
That's what I say. There's nothing wrong with being a monster.
yes.
That's just the term people use to address those that are different. I take pride in that.
Jax puts a hand in his shoulder.
It's squishy.
To go all the way up there.
It does. Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So I'm going to take that as a good break point for
Yeah.
us to take a little mid-session break.
As we all have tiny breakdowns.
Yeah, as you all walk and have tiny breakdowns, and Baldur says something very deep about the concept of
Don't get used to
monsters, and then admits that yes, his shoulder is squishy. But yes, so with that, we are going to take a quick break for various biological purposes, and we'll be back. So, bye. welcome back to everyone. We have had an amusing little break discussion, and temptations just kind of dangled in front of everyone's heads. But we are coming back into the session. Today, previously, everybody woke up and dealt with the emotional ramifications of traumatic vision dream things. Possibly not to the full extent that they needed to be dealt with, but they are in a precarious situation during which they are attempting to, run from being hunted down like common prey. Anyway, but they are wandering down the stairs trying to get back into the depths of the old city and the old studies of the previous or last primary and archmage, discussing things as they go along. There was a moment about monsters and how people view them and what monsters are. And then the frustrations of those who don't really feel that they are in a spot that they can absorb that message. But you guys continue on and do eventually reach, like, a couple hours later, the base of the stairs.
Right.
Ooh, we made it.
I
I don't know where we are.
This tunnel over here leads to Vukan's chambers.
Mm-hmm. And the other way leads back to
How
the
did you even know?
wall.
We've been here before.
This is the stairwell that you ran up to try and find Jax. So you
May
have
or may not
been
find us
there. Yeah, you have been
Oh,
there
not his
before. It
fault.
was just not necessarily, like, it was just your first time taking the stairs to the Empire State Building.
Gotcha. No, see, the thing is, Balder, if he can't see the sky, he doesn't have a fucking clue where he is.
You
He's
can see the sky
That's
now
why you
because
haven't
you're in the
explored.
skyway, and there's, like, the ceiling is depicting the sky. It is a little bit of a darker, kind of overcast day. Not like raining, so there wouldn't have been thunder. You see hints of smoke in the sky, though.
That looks like smoke.
Burning?
It does look like
That's
Is it white
concerning.
smoke or black smoke?
Black smoke.
what's the
Something
difference?
is burning.
Great. Do we? It's coming from like above us because it's on the skyway.
Yeah, so you can see the skyway, and the skyway depicts an illusion of the sky above. So it changes as it's daytime, nighttime, and it also depicts the weather. So instead of it being like the fluffy white clouds and blue background that you have seen the previous days, because there was fairly nice weather, it's slightly overcast, not really raining, and on one side there's like hints of black smoke mingling with the clouds.
Right.
But it's still an illusion. So it's just a very different sky than you're used to seeing up there.
I suppose we'll hear about that later. Perhaps when we're back on the surface.
If it's black, it means it's not like regular.
So
Something is burning.
something big. If that noise from earlier is any indication.
And reached us all the way down in the tunnel.
Should we go help?
We're fixing you first.
No.
We
We
just got
can't
down
do anything.
here.
Yeah,
So
but
you
I'm
are-
alive right now. There's some people who might not be.
By the time
Well,
we
then
get,
they don't need help if they're dead.
oh, also true.
Yeah, but they shouldn't have to die if they're not already.
Well, we're not gods. All of us are anyway.
It's not
We
really
can't.
up to
No, I
us.
don't think we have the power to resurrect the dead. I look at Sybil.
No, don't. I don't. To my knowledge, I don't know.
I mean,
Have
you
you
are a
tried?
ghost.
I am not a ghost. I am still alive. Pretty sure.
Very much so.
Look,
And
all
just
I'm saying
see
is that
through
there
sometimes.
are
It's fine.
people who might be in danger who need to be saved because they're not dead yet.
2 hours away from getting anywhere near them. So we'll fix you first, and then we will deal with the next set of problems.
Also, Baldur, just as a heads up before you go inside, if there's anything that looks like shiny or something, like don't touch it. Because the last time that
Yes.
just the last time that we came down here was also with a group of 4, and we left as a group
You
of 3.
may
Oh,
need
is
to
this where your
introduce
friend
yourself
died?
to the orb.
Didn't
Did not
didn't
die.
die. They're
And he
just
did.
not
Yeah, he didn't die. Yeah.
here anymore.
But you may need to
That
introduce
sounds
yourself
like
to the
that.
orb so that
You
you
are
become
gonna
a
have to-
guest of
Hang
the
on.
household.
Hang on. Oh,
It's. I promise that it at least. I want to say it makes sense, but it doesn't. All I can promise is that the logic is consistent.
right.
I think if you're a guest, you get to
The
touch
god,
things in
the
house.
ghost, the
if
dragon,
you're
and the
not-
tentacle walk into a room, and it's consistent.
I mean, this appears to
Okay.
be what the world
Sure.
is now, so we
Yes,
just
sir.
have to roll with that.
Can you stop calling me a god? I'm not a god. It's
I'm
like,
sorry.
Do you want to
Yes.
meet
I'm
my
sorry,
dead
sir.
great grandpa? He lives inside of an orb.
and I walk in.
Oh,
There we go.
Yeah, so you trigger the
Alright.
door. So you trigger the door, you walk into the foyer area, which kind of looks like a messy mage's like sitting room. The like instead of there really being overhead lights, as you walk in, little motes of light about like the size of your hand float over and just kind of position themselves over your shoulder so
I
that
wanna
you can
touch it.
see.
That's not the
It
one.
it's not tactile, so you just put your finger through shining light or tentacle, either way.
bloody hell.
That's not him, by the way.
Well, of
I don't
course.
know, it's much
Oh, wait,
Why
is
would-
this
why would he
is
greet
this
us at
gonna
the door?
activate-
Would you say,
security
Jax?
That would be-
system activate?
You're still in the foyer, so there's nothing to activate. You guys were fine in the foyer before. But yeah, so you go off to the side door to enter.
open that one.
Alrighty. So leading towards this, and it was a little bit of a walk to get to this study. It did eventually switch to where it looked like there was water overhead. So you know that you are underneath either the river or lake prior to entering this. And much like the Skyway, this has the illusion ceiling of whatever is above you, which in this case is water. Walking over to the side door and entering through, you see a large, kind of circular, not quite octagonal room with a dais in the center that has overhanging counters, and from under these counters, small, like 3 foot tall magical automaton looking figures rise as one. And hovering above this dais is a giant ball of light that's kind of crackling slightly.
Do we have to do this again?
Sybil, can you introduce yourself and call off the
Mhm.
guards?
Hi, Vukin.
The
Hello.
yeah, the automatons don't like approach or anything. They just have woken up.
Maybe you guys just stay here for 2 seconds.
Yeah, go introduce yourself to the orb. Tell them
It's
to
fine.
power down.
Don't move too close; it'll take over your mind.
I think I'm fine, but I'll keep that in mind.
No, not you. I'm talking about Balder.
Oh yeah.
What? It's fine. It's fine. You'll get used
It's
to it.
fine. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
We say that an awful lot.
Yeah, I almost killed Sybil this one time.
Yeah. From like a halfway across the room, she like looks over. It's like, yeah, it was really scary actually.
But yeah, so you just walk in, the automatons just kind of like step to the side, slap at an orb.
High five
Uh,
my grandpa. In the
Like
face.
you feel this kind of static along your arm, and in your head you hear that same voice of, "Welcome back."
Hi. I have another friend here. Can you call off your sentries?
Might as well, for now.
Thank you.
While she's like just hand on giant ball of light, just standing there, gradually the little automatons fold themselves back in and under the counter.
Do you want to meet
The
him?
yeah, the light ball kind of crackles again.
Just introduce yourself. Say that you mean no harm to this house. Just put
And
your
also,
hand in my
also
mouth.
tell you
I
something about
don't mean
yourself.
any harm.
Are you
Introduce
touching
the
the
orb.
orb?
Gotta touch it.
I've got to touch it.
Yes.
It's-
Why do
I will
He
warn
talks. He talks
He's
into
a
your
little
mind and
touchy.
stuff. Yeah.
I don't want
He's
to.
the-
I don't want him to talk into my mind.
He's an
It's
asshole.
fine. It's
Yes.
okay. He's also very what's the word?
An
Mean.
asshole?
When something's like ominous. There we go. That's the word.
I don't want to touch anything with those
Just
descriptions.
touch it, you'll be fine. And Sybil grabs your tentacle hand and goes,
Smack me on it.
All right.
So it feels kind of warm and staticky, and you also feel the sensation of a secondary presence, kind of the same way that you felt when you were talking to Ace in your dream. And in your head, you just hear, "Hello, new friend."
Hello.
And you are?
I'm Walter. I mean,
You don't
harm.
sound particularly sure of that.
Well, I'm touching a glowing ball. That's speaking into my mind right now. It's not. It's not. I've seen weird things. This is kind of up there. It's big.
Hmm.
Right. Do I have to keep touching you, or can I let go now?
Well, you don't seem quite sure of who you are.
Well, no, it's just a general confusion of the situation, more so than a personal confusion about my identity, really.
Sure. It sounds very skeptical, but the
It's
presence leaves your mind.
I let go of the orb. I
No.
say out loud in character. I let go of the orb.
Yeah.
you're good. That wasn't so bad.
It was horrible.
Right. Oh yeah, he's always off.
I mean, I know that he's... Yeah,
I
he's
wouldn't
not...
recommend doing it more than once, but now you're the guest
I mean,
of the
no,
household,
he wasn't.
so we should be fine.
He wasn't rude or anything. He was. I
Oh,
just
that's unusual.
Yeah.
not used. I'm not fond of people in my mind. So they'll cut it in there.
Last night must have been a real trip.
Most nights are.
Well, welcome to Sybil's family home. As I say, as I slap the orb because I need to talk to this guy.
Oh,
Okay.
Oh, why are you slap? Wait, do you guys? Was it supposed to be an aggressive slap? Is he like?
Sybil, I have a theory. Ask me about it later.
Okay.
Does he just like the
Back to
slap?
Jax.
Does he just like that?
He just likes to be
Does he
slapped.
just like
I
it?
mean,
Does
you
he
can
like
try
being
that
slapped?
later.
Do you want
He's
to?
into
Do you want me to
it.
spank the orb?
judge
Do you want me to spank
Why
the
are you
orb?
Should I-
fear?
in
Should I be more
private,
aggressive
only
with
in
my
private.
tentacle?
Anyway,
The tentacle him harder if he liked it.
much like the previous time, you hear that same voice. Ah, you again.
Yeah, hello. I'm doing this all in my head. Yo, it's me. Hello. How are you? Yeah, you good?
Mm-hmm.
I got a question. Last time I was here, you said I was something more than I told you my name, and you're like, "Yo, you more than that, right?" Like, what did you mean? Like, did you mean that I was? Am I a god?
I'm fairly certain that if you were a god, you wouldn't need to ask me.
Listen here. You don't have to like you can give me a straight answer. It's okay.
That's no fun.
I prefer to be gay. Oh,
You-
sorry, I thought I was muted.
I'm so glad you weren't.
Come on, flip it, please.
Oh God.
Happy Pride, everybody.
Happy Pride. It's year round here.
Never stops.
Jeez.
Jax just
24/7.
goes. Jax just goes. Do you know a tatamba? Have you ever heard of a tatamba before?
Yes.
Is this a? Is she a god?
That is the name of the goddess.
I don't know why I thought I would get an answer from you. How would one go about knowing if they were a god? Do you just know if you're a god, or is there like some sort of ritual that happens? Is there like a ceremony? Is it like puberty? Like all of a sudden you sprout god out of your like I don't know your face or something?
So you hear slight chuckling as if in amusement. Gods are transient things.
They're see through. Got it.
That's not quite what that means, but they are passing and constant at the same time. They are powerful,
Okay.
but there is only so much power that can be exerted when the world itself is lacking. Perhaps that answers your question.
It sounds like you say the magic is the reason that like magic is the reason gods, are gods here before what?
You almost had it. You did. You almost had it.
Damn it.
I'm
Okay.
saying that those who would call themselves gods are powered by connection. To what? You must determine that. But they are powered by connection. If connections are severed, what are they but a powerful soul?
Yeah, I'm totally following this. You know, you got any like books about them in here somewhere?
Of course.
Okay. Also, a question: Were you okay? Were you in a tower one day and then like it started like the world started to like crumble beneath you? Did that something that happened?
Not so quickly as you're determining, but there was a tower here.
Were you in there one day, like looking at the sky, and you were like doing something to the? I tried to describe what I saw the person doing in the tower.
There is silence for a moment, and you are not sure if he's just completely left your mind or if he is processing. But eventually,
Oh, wait.
eventually, that was a day of hubris. Nothing to be concerned of now.
Wait, did it actually happen?
Yes.
Wow, I had a dream about that last night. That's why my aunt was there. You were there, apparently. Yeah,
My father.
and Kale. Oh, I almost shook his hand, I guess. Almost, but then I shook somebody else's hand.
No. That's
No,
just
so
an
I'm
old
sorry if this is
legend.
like, yeah. What do you wait? What's the legend?
Nothing.
You
Take
can't
care
just
of
do
my
that. Is there a
granddaughter.
book about it? Is there a book about it? Damn it.
Just connection severed.
Yes.
You see, Jax immediately runs to the library. He lets go.
Oh.
I'm,
You
I'm,
shouldn't be moving that fast.
It
I'm
hurts,
already
but it's okay.
perusing the books. Also,
All right.
I'm looking for anything on sailing.
Oh,
Nice.
oh,
Oh,
okay.
shit, just a minute.
I
You are
don't
not in the
know if
books yet,
Sybil-
and also,
I
just a
will be a
moment, I've
moment.
got a bot.
Oh, okay.
Okay, channel points, settings.
I didn't realize it was in the books. In that case, I'm just gonna stand by the door, awkwardly holding a bottle of alcohol in my hand. Pretend like those people that go to parties and they just sit in the corner and only react when they see the house pet. That's me right now.
Good.
This is a lot. I
There's a lot to
was
process.
just yeah. I was just given the information that there's a giant orb that holds the consciousness of an ancient being that somehow is protected by autonomous creatures, which in turn are things that I never even thought existed. I didn't even know that they were a thing that couldn't exist in the first place. But now they're here, and I was just nope.
Life comes at you fast.
Well,
Yep.
there is a reason why we have tried to not tell you things. Everything that we tell you,
also-
you just spend days.
There's also a
Processing.
reason that we all seem
You've
very
known me
stressed and
for
overwhelmed
2
all the
days.
time. It's this. This is the problem.
Why don't you ask him to help?
I'm just a moment, actually. And I suppose it's Kale's turn at the orb next, because they'll go over and they've been staring at it and kind of like thinking, and now they're gonna go over and just like, yeah, I'll wait. But
As Jax is running away, he's like, yeah, he's like, library, you know what that potion?
Sorry, it's loading really slowly.
You're chilling.
no worries.
Hale, what was you had a theory?
Yes. Is your family's home, has it been since his time? Since Vukan's time?
I mean, it's old. I don't know if it's that old. I've never. I could ask.
He said something last we spoke to him about caches? And that we need to find them. Does it make sense that he would have hidden one there?
Oh. Maybe.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I have a couple of siblings, and like we spent our summers running around that place and exploring. It's a pretty big old house, but I don't think we ever found anything. But
Did you ever go under the house?
No. And also, we didn't really have anything we were looking for in particular. So I bet if he told us, if he gave us an idea of what to look for. Maybe.
Question.
Huh.
Have you looked through this place in its entirety?
In its entirety? No, I don't think we
We
went into a couple of rooms.
This is the kind of it's got whatever those things were that were. Wouldn't
I
that
think that they deactivated.
You're fine.
Right.
Don't worry.
no listen, it's not because of me. If wouldn't he, if he has places to store whatever it is he's storing, wouldn't one of those places be where he stores his mind? So wouldn't this place be
Where he stores his mind?
the orb?
Yeah.
So wouldn't this, if like I wouldn't put my brain, my orb mind,
I think
somewhere
he
that I
called
wouldn't.
himself an echo.
Okay. Wouldn't he put the echo somewhere that he would consider? So wouldn't this place be a place we should check for whatever it is that you're talking about?
There's certainly certain things cached here. There was weapons and armor,
Potions.
potions.
We still have one.
Very nice robes. Kale's been wearing this like archaic robe the entire time.
Well, what do you need weapons and armor for?
We don't.
We don't, and
Oh.
we didn't take any of them, I don't think. We just
No,
they're here.
but they're here.
The last time that we were here, our friend, Kinder,
The dead one, yeah.
they're not dead. We just don't know where they are.
So they could be
were
dead.
sent home, and
Could
home
be.
seems to have fallen out of the sky centuries ago. So who knows where they are?
I don't
But I
even know this
believe
person, and I keep
he
learning
assured
low,
us-
outlandish things about them.
We were alive, but they were
They
alive.
touched something and got sent home. So we didn't take anything that looked super important because we didn't know what would happen.
Did you ask him?
Yeah.
And then that's where you got the going home was from him. Can I speak with him again? Is that like a turn thing? Like, can I skip my turn, or can I just?
No, go.
Slap the orb.
I'm gonna just like. I'm gonna give him a soft slap. Just kind of like a hesitant. I don't know if this is how this is
Pet-
supposed to be.
pet the
Slap
orb.
with my tentacle. Just like,
Okay. Just,
hello. Can you hear me?
yes. Yes.
So hi. I realized I didn't introduce myself properly on account of the fact that I am so out of my depths. Who are you? What's your name? I'm sorry.
Well, you're currently far into the depths, so you're not quite out of your depths.
No, my dad saw the ocean. This is far below it. It sounds like I'm deeper, but it's not, because I had to get out of the water to get it. To get here. But
Would you like to go swimming?
I don't want to answer the question. I like swimming, but not right now. I actually have a question for you, if you would indulge my curiosity.
Let's see how amusing it is.
All right. So you're like a magic person, right?
To an
Obviously.
extent.
What do you make of Magic's awakening? What is your opinion on it?
Inevitability.
Right. Makes sense. But what? Because if you're a magic person, then you must be jolly that it's returning, right?
Well, it's not as if I'm alive.
And yet you speak. I've yet to meet a corpse that could speak. I've met many corpses.
I am not a corpse. I am
It's okay.
I am
Take
an
your time.
impression. That was me. That was not him.
I know.
Yeah. I am an impression. And
Right.
merely that.
Well, what would the entity you are an impression of think of the return of magic?
Again, inevitability.
Right. But that's the boring answer.
No, it's highly amusing for me.
Hmm. So you don't have anything to say that could benefit those of us who are afflicted by magic?
Magic is not an affliction.
When those around you are treating you badly for it, it is.
People
No.
are an affliction, not the magic.
I've been around enough children that are kind to know that that's not true, is it?
They become it.
Only if we allow it to perpetuate. But this is a digression from the topic at hand. I don't believe you're quite forthright with your answers, and I don't blame you. But I firmly believe that you know way more about what's happening than you let on.
Of course.
So how about a tete-a-tete? You give me information, I give you information. I presume you're not quite familiar with the modern world, right?
I don't truly have a desire to be. I am an impression. I am an impression across a variety of hidden nooks and crannies. But I
Right.
cannot reach out. The world can barely reach in.
Right. So you cannot learn, or can you?
Learning is limited.
I would assume knowledge and learning is more of an opening, really.
No, I am an impression. There is only so much that I can know.
Right. I see what you mean. Fascinating. So you are permanently what you were when you were created then.
Yes.
Fascinating.
Which I did derive a good deal of amusement with the fun that I had with those around me, and that has certainly stayed.
So are there others like you that you would know of?
There is me, but
Right.
I am in more than one place.
Would you be able to know where you are?
Of course.
I presume that wouldn't be information you're privy to sharing.
Oh, little Sybil will eventually find them.
I see. Well, let's shift gears if you wouldn't mind. What would your impression of our current predicament be? I presume that if you can see into my mind and speak into it, you would know what our situation is. Yes?
Yes.
What would you think of it then? What would your wisdom advice be? Or opinion, rather?
I think a great many things about it, but you don't know yourself well enough for me to even know you to give advice.
Then perhaps what would your advice be for others that you do in fact know more than I? Or rather,
Will
enough.
that be advice for them?
And yet their situation affects me. Would you say that that is in itself reason enough for me to know more?
What would I tell you if I know not advice for you? I would tell them advice, assuming that it in some way is beneficial.
What about your mere opinion? I assume someone as intellectual and magically powerful as you would have opinions aplenty.
Oh, a great many.
Then consider me a gossip. What would you gossip about?
I would gossip about the fall of those who did not uphold the duties that they inherited.
I see. I presume you have someone in mind specifically?
Oh, it's in process.
I see. Fascinating. What else? Please tell.
I would gossip about fear turning to hope. I would gossip about power awakening. I would gossip about gods and nature. I would gossip about a very nosy young man that befriended my granddaughter.
I wouldn't necessarily call it befriending. It's more like we have mutual goals at the moment.
That motivates me even less. Though I
Yes,
do
but
appreciate the honesty.
I believe that. How do I put this? I was raised to believe that interactions are a transaction. Yes, you would agree with this, would you not?
No.
Really? So you're the kind of person that takes?
I am a person that experiences. It is not transactional because it does not have to be an exchange. It does not have to be an exchange of goods. It does not have to be an exchange of monetary value or benefit.
Yet.
It is simply an experience. It is simply existence.
And yet, is it not inherently factual that to be perceived and experienced in itself an exchange on our surroundings?
Are you so selfish as to need benefit from something? For it
On the
to
contrary, I am
be something
offering.
that you experience?
On the contrary, I am offering you information in exchange for something that benefits all of us. After all, you know our situation. You know what the people up above are doing for people like us. And do you think
Information
they're
is
not going
not
to
what I
front?
desire.
What do you desire?
Nothing that you can provide.
Try me.
You are no friend of the family, therefore you provide nothing.
And
You
yet,
sell and you trade. You do not provide.
And yet, of everybody here, I'm the only one willing to speak to you as a one-on-one.
I have a
Surely you
feeling
can
that
see
that's a
value in that.
blatant lie.
Is it though? Because what I've heard is that you are insufferable, egotistical maniac. You can confirm this to be true.
Oh,
You
yes,
own
yes, I am.
family. And yet,
I have been told many times.
You must understand. You must. You believe are you an intelligent entity? Would you consider yourself as such?
I was.
So you are not anymore.
I am not an entity, I'm an impression.
Well, as an impression, do you believe yourself to be an impression of an intelligent being?
Yes.
Very well. I nudged my camera and now it's gone. God damn it.
You just
Very well.
pieced right out. Pieced right out of that
Very well.
conversation.
Goodbye. Hold on. Damn it.
I believe in you.
If you're done, I can converse
Yeah.
for a second. While we
Yeah, so
give her back.
while
Yeah,
they
go
are chatting outside of this particular conversation, what's going on?
We had our little conversations. Do you think it may be under the house then?
I have
There might be tunnels What
Never-
part of the city is your house in?
Good question that I haven't thought about since we started playing this game.
Yeah. Some fancy part, clearly.
We had established that your actual family house is outside of the city itself. You have a property outside of the city. And then you have somewhere that you stay when you are in town.
Yes. Outside the city.
Oh. We may need to make a trip at some point.
It's fair. Things are kind of heating up here. Might be good to. Oh God, but
I do have one other question for your great whatever. But we should also deal with Jax as soon as possible.
Yeah,
I don't know how long it will take.
You go ask your question. I'll go see what he's up to.
Right. I think he went to the library, which is very unusual.
The fact that he even remembers where that is honestly impressive. I'll find it. Just come visit us, I guess, when you're done.
Are you finished?
So, Boulder, you at least have camera back.
Hello.
Hello.
No, I'm gonna keep talking to this person. They've given me a lot of good information so far already. So you do not so you do not want for anything, really?
No. An impression cannot want.
Not even for its own preservation.
No.
Would the real you, the one that you are an impression of, mourn the loss of your knowledge now that he's potentially gone?
My purpose was not to preserve the knowledge for myself.
So your purpose is to preserve your knowledge for other people, your family, I presume.
No.
Who then? I see.
I doubt that it is something that you would understand. It's not
Well,
transactional.
You know my brain. Tell me, would I understand it?
There's no response to that.
That sounds like an admission.
No, like that he doesn't actually respond
Oh.
to that. There's just
No.
silence to that.
I know that's Baldur being like, so you know that I would.
He does not believe that you would. Like he was
Right.
there was no doubt in his tone when he said, "I doubt that you would understand."
Gotcha. All right. Well then, just if I wouldn't understand, if I wouldn't understand, then there's no harm in telling me because I wouldn't understand.
Have you ever felt such a desire to protect the future?
Yes.
That you would give yourself up?
Yes.
And yet you still think that conversation and interactions are transactional?
When dealing with somebody that's wiser and stronger than me, yes.
But it's very cynical. And if you are willing to give yourself up, if you are willing to give up everything, what benefit do you have from that?
If my death or my whatever fate awaits me, helps those that I love, however few they may be, live even if just a minute longer, then I would gladly sacrifice myself for them.
That is not the future. That is not a concept. That is sacrifice for. That is sacrifice for self. Their value is only in what you place in them, and thus it holds value to you.
I mean, you could argue that about the future too. If you're not going to see a future, it has no value to anyone once they're dead.
That is still people.
So are the people that I love. Why is their value lesser than the value of a fictional future that could potentially be?
I am not concerned with the people of the future. I was concerned with the future itself.
What's the future if not for the people? The notion of time and space, the notion of whether stars are their names, the entities, they're all ours. We created these concepts. If there are none, if we don't safeguard the future for ourselves, what is the purpose? What's the point?
Time will not stop if humanity stops. Time will still keep going. The future will still exist.
And yet, so what? Nature? Beings other than humans? Is that what you're worried about?
I had concerns for anomalies.
Anomalies. Such as?
Things that you could not understand.
And yet I inquire.
Yes. But if it is something that is incomprehensible without the experience of it, it can never be explained to someone who has not had the experience.
Then show me. You're magical. You've experienced these memories. You can see my mind in my memories. Then show me yours.
I am not magical. I am an impression. I am not a wizard. I am not an adept. I no longer see the future. I am the memories and impression of one who has.
Could you show me memories?
No.
You cannot show me anything.
No.
Could you direct me to something that could?
That I do not know.
I mean, if you are as powerful as you say you are, if the real you, the one that created you, is as powerful as you say you are, which I have no reason not to believe that, considering that I am speaking into a glowing orb of burning light, then would it not concern even the most layman of people to safeguard this, to avoid this, whatever anomaly you're afraid of? Would it not be important to establish a way that this information can get to the correct hands? If I may not be the person that this is oriented towards, that's fine, but I could at least send us a message.
As expected, you do not understand. I do not know if there are others currently that have visions of the future, and magic is still far too, to put it in layman's terms, sleepy to allow anyone to affect it. It is not a concern of yours.
And yet it was your concern a long time ago.
It was my concern.
Wait, okay. Question. Is the future that you speak of my present?
No.
Our present? It
No.
still remains no future.
No.
It's already come to pass.
Yes.
See. Are you conscious of or aware of how long ago?
Yes.
I presume you're not going to share that information with me.
It is of no concern. I am content to hold amusement, as my purpose has passed, and I linger on.
That's sad.
Perhaps to you. I do not hold enough within the impression to feel sadness.
That's even sadder. Do you not? I mean, a person is if a person has memories. If you have memories, you are a person. It doesn't. Your shape doesn't matter. Would you not? I don't know. Wish for or think of anything that anything beyond your purpose. Is your purpose everything that you exist for?
It was.
Or what now?
And now I exist. There is no purpose, merely deriving amusement on occasion, remembering fear, switching to amusement, sleeping.
You sound just like a human. That's
I
what
was
humans
once.
are. Sounds to me like you still are.
No.
Why? Because you're a memory.
I do not have the depth of humanness.
I know many people who are less deep than you, and they're still humans. Barely, but they are.
You don't.
You're right. I don't understand. You seem to feel enough. You fear. You find amusement. You sleep. You converse fairly well. Seems pretty human to me. What's not there that is not human?
Anything other than amusement and fear. I feel none of it. I feel no desire. I feel no hope. I feel no curiosity. I have no ambition to hold a body.
Okay.
I merely am.
And in your amness, is there nothing you can do? What can you do besides just communicating with whoever touches you?
I can guard.
You can guard.
Yes.
How?
The possessions and place which
Right.
belongs to myself and my descendants shall remain safe.
So as a guard, could you, granted, I don't know how any of this works, but could you guard a person? Like, could you willingly utilize your defensive capabilities to protect an entity other than
Within the
this
space of
location?
within the sphere of my influence. So within this place and within the other places that I am connected to.
Right.
But not
So I couldn't
outside of it.
so I couldn't pick you up and take you elsewhere.
No.
Fascinating. I have so many more questions.
I'm sure that you do. In the meantime, Sybil, you've gone to look for Jax,
Just, like,
and
knock on the door.
Jax, you went for the library, and you're just, I'm guessing, taking random books off of the wall of bookcases and shelves.
He's looking for books about gods and also the history of the city. He's trying to figure out what this legend was that he's that orc guy was talking about. But those are the two specific like topics he's like searching for.
All right. I guess do a search and research roll. It is intellect based. DC is going to be 21, so you need something to drop it down. You need to argue some sort of easement to that
Let's see.
because it is a 7. So
I'm going to apply effort.
okay.
That'll do.
Level. Wait. Okay. Hold on. How many effort for level 2 of effort?
So the first level of effort is 3. The second level of effort is 2. So it's 5 in total, unless you have edge that reduces it.
I have 1 edge, so 4.
So that would
total?
so that would drop it to 4, yeah, from your intellect pool.
This is gonna be fun. Intellect 2. It's okay. It's fine.
You have muted your mic, Kale.
So that gets you down to possible instead of absolutely cannot roll on a d20. So that's better.
Yeah.
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 15 or
So
better.
yeah, so Joel, if like the DC is above or is like 7 or higher, that means that you have to have things that would make it easier for you. So like for most of you, punching through a wall, like or punching through a steel door, that's going to be a 21. He has things that make it below a 21.
God.
So what'd you roll?
I rolled an 18 on the die.
Okay. You barely got what you
Fantastic.
needed.
Hello.
Yeah, you
Luck
barely
is
got what you
in your
needed.
hand.
So like you've like just randomly grabbed books on various shelves because as far as you can tell there's not a defined way to organize this. It's not like it's following a Dewey Decimal System or something in here, but like you find random sections that okay, this seems to be research on the properties of random ingredients. This is another section that seems to be the research on the property of random ingredients and how they apply to each other. And this is like various things about study and the movements of stars. And gradually you find an area that's a little bit more in terms of not really history books, but notebooks that are just notebooks and notebooks and notebooks. And purely by luck, you happen to find one that seems to be personal experiences, and it incorporates the story of his father, who had built the tower, and on the day of the tower's fall, meeting a man and a woman that shone like the stars. The assumption that they were some unknown magical power or mutation, and thus attempting to welcome them into the city, and them disappearing before his eyes. Only the people on the street at that time ever saw them, so it was not a mere illusion of his father, but no one saw these figures walk into the city. No one ever saw where these figures went.
That's wild. Whoa. Oh, hey, Sybil.
Did you
Yeah.
find what you were looking for?
No, I'd like, no, yeah. I did actually.
Do you want to talk about it? What you were looking
it's
for?
real quick. Did I also find books about the gods? Or no?
Not here. Not here. He has them. He didn't say that they were there.
Gotcha. Yeah, I was looking for books about the gods, but I was also looking for books about the history of this town. You saw the dream, right?
The tree?
You saw my dream, yeah.
Your dream. Yeah.
Yeah. Did you see the part where like there was a dude and like shook his hand or almost shook his hand? You see that?
Yeah.
So I asked your grandfather. You know, I'm excluding the greats because there's too many.
Understandable.
But I asked. That's what I was talking about when I, you know, slapperoonied. Um, but I was looking for gods. Didn't find those. But I did find. I told him about that, and apparently that was his father. Hello, your other grandfather, yeah, the one before him. And then something about hubris. I don't know what that means. Um, but he was going to do something in the sky. You saw. Um, but there was apparently yes, there's the legend of apparently of that guy breeding two beings that showed up, a man and a woman, and he tried to welcome them into the city, but then they disappeared before he could. And apparently those two beings shone like the stars.
So like kind of faintly. Stars aren't like that bright.
No, they were bright. Apparently, it says it right here. They were like you bright people.
And you think that that was
Well, you see, like the dream, all of it was real, I guess, right? Because I'm like, yeah, this thing happened in my dream, and he's like, wow, that was an actual thing that happened in life, and so like, it had to be real, and in which case, if it was real, then I was the shiny person, but I'm not shining. I wasn't shining there. I could see myself just fine, right? Like, am I shining? Wait, am I shining to you? Hold on.
I I
Am I
mean
bright?
it's bright in this room. So I can't you seem normal. You seem like how you always are. Do you want to be this shiny person?
I don't know.
I mean, we don't know for sure that we don't know for sure that any of the things that have happened in our dreams, your dreams, they weren't mine. I was just kind of there. We don't know that they were actually real. You described an event to somebody. I mean, that could have happened. We don't have to put that much stock in it if you don't like what you found. That's all.
Sybil, I left home
Yeah.
because I'm alone.
Yeah.
She left. The only person I knew in my entire life, the person who had been there, the only person I was around, really, ever. She left. She threw a backpack at me and said, "Go see the world," And then she disappeared. And now I see her in my dream again after years, and she never told me about my parents, about why they were gone, or why I couldn't see them. But if they're gods, if I'm a god, why would they keep that from me?
I don't know. I mean, I don't. There's too many different variables about why people could keep information from you. I mean, look, I know we haven't like known each other for that long, but this doesn't change anything. You're still my friend. And then maybe you are a god, and maybe your parents are gods, and you know what? We can put that on the list of things to try and figure out. I... Are you okay?
On my life, it was Jax. No last name, right? Just Jax. Fighter, outdoorsman, cliff jumper.
You gotta stop that.
It's fun. I'm never gonna stop it. But the thing is that all my life I knew who I was. I've been me. You know, parents or no parents. But I don't know. For the first time, I don't know who I am. What
Why?
I'm supposed to do.
Why does this change anything? You're still you. Do you actually think that this changes anything? Okay, so your parents are maybe gods. Your aunt is probably a god. But you're still, you know, Jax the fighter who jumps off of cliffs and fights people he shouldn't. I mean, it doesn't change anything. We are gonna figure this out. You know? You're gonna help me get my life back. And I'm gonna help you figure out if you're a god. That's a fair trade.
It's legit.
Yeah.
I appreciate it. Yeah, it's yeah, oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, what is it? What am I thinking? No, I'm no wait, oh yeah, I'm good. Yeah, I'm
No.
still me. No, yeah, you're right.
Okay, yeah, but also you're allowed to.
There's nothing gonna like live forever or something. Like I'm totally not gonna see the end of time. Or anything. It's totally like it's gonna be fine. It's gonna be okay. It's okay.
Oh
Cool.
no. Jax is spiraling.
Yeah, just let it.
And then, but he like look at you and he goes, you know, I mean, if that's true for me, then that's true for you too, right? Intangible or not,
No, I don't think so.
you're still civil.
Probably.
And you see, that's the problem. Right? Like that's the problem. You know, you're fine. You're wonderful. But yeah, together we can do anything. And then he like holds up.
Oh.
You gotta like bump it. Yeah.
Just a sec. Yeah.
Yeah. There you go.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're so solid.
Yeah. Thank you. You're pretty squishy.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what well, I guess it's bones, so that's my hands are squishy? Wait.
I mean,
Just hold on.
No, that's Balder.
That's older.
Yeah. So while all this is happening and you're just kind of standing there watching over Balder, like with his hand on a glowing ball of light, are you also going to touch the light at the same time, or are you just like kind of patiently or impatiently waiting your turn?
I think Kale's waiting their turn. They're not sure how it'll work if both people touch at once.
You do.
They don't want to mess it up.
Okay.
So they're just, and it's taken a while, so they're like around, like looking at the ceiling. They wander around a little bit. The
You
entire
would
time,
notice that Baldur is very like while talking to the sword, just
how this feels. And so after Baldur continues talking for a while, I'm going to get Pico out of the backpack and just be like, Pico, I had a dream last night that I think was real.
Okay.
And I met myself in that dream. Not as I am now, but I was an older person who had seen the deaths of all of us.
Not all.
He stayed behind and stood vigil, I guess, and was lonely and so angry.
We've experienced a loss, but not everyone died.
But
Some escaped.
that happened. Was that true?
Yeah.
Then I'm sorry I ran and left you to that.
That wasn't you. It was a part of you, but it's not a decision that Kale made. It's a decision that someone else did. You carry a part of them with you, and I appreciate that, but I only carry a part of that with me too.
But I'm not him.
No, just you have a part of him.
Right.
I have
Did I
a
know you?
part of one of the ones that died.
Were we friends in that life?
Probably.
Do you remember any of it?
Pieces. Pieces. They. It wasn't this last cycle. It was longer ago than that. That's harder to remember.
Do you remember?
The last cycle I was in the large form. And there was loss then too. But longer ago there was that tragedy, yes. I faintly remember friends and playing and the lesson of letting those who let fear rule them know where we are.
But we all come back like this. We're
Eventually.
reborn? So the ones who were lost, they're not gone.
Not most of them.
Okay.
Not most of them.
We'll find them. I'm not going to run anymore.
They'll wake up.
Like me? From normal human lives?
If they have the capability and they find their guide, they'll wake up. It is rare that we are all awake at once.
This is going to take a lot to get used to.
It always does.
Do you think he's
Thank you.
okay?
I don't know if he's ever okay.
Me neither, to be fair.
He seems to hold a lot of trauma. You should give him more tea.
Yes. I mean, if he was a street kid growing up with an arm like that, can't imagine the things he's been through. We should poke him. Come over, just like poke him in the shoulder.
Pico is less of the poking and more of the randomly bites your calf.
Me?
Yes.
Oh, I'll immediately let go of the orb. Ow!
Oh,
We were checking to
Alright.
make sure that like your mind wasn't like trapped there or something, because we don't really know how it works.
Oh no, I was having a pleasant conversation.
sorry for interrupting. You had a very not good look on your face.
Oh no, this fear. If you know how to not, it tells you a lot of things. It just I think it unintentionally confirmed that Jax is actually a god. And I cannot tail the rest of the conversation. Kind of like the spark
Yeah.
goes.
Very interesting.
It's brilliant. Also, we have confirmation that there are others of this thing.
Ah, that was one of the questions I wanted to ask it. If you don't mind, just a moment,
Oh, go ahead.
and I'll just pop on there.
Busy day, it seems.
Well, I've got in line to speak with you, so hello again.
I'm popular. And he sounds amused again.
Right. So last we spoke, I had a lot of questions. Figured out a few of them now. Your grandmother, Sybil, she is a very special person and a very good friend of mine.
Ah, finally a friend. Finally a friend.
Want to watch over her. I imagine you are the same way.
I do not have desire.
The you who existed before the whole orb situation would have desired to see to the safety of those that came after, correct?
I would not call that desire, and would call it more self-protection.
And these caches of magical items you set up and are protecting now.
Those are just my collection.
Is there one under the manor that your family occupies? Your country home, if it existed in your time.
I had no country home. I stayed at the crest of the city.
Where?
high on the cliff. Beautiful view.
Any iconic statuary, a particular monogram on the building, perhaps, that might have survived?
That is hard to say.
All right. How many of these collections did you have about the city?
Why do you need to know?
I do not think that Sybil has considered her, let's call it inheritance. But I have reason to believe there are others in this city who are seeking it and who will stop at nothing to get at it. I would like to safeguard her from that.
My various impressions are well equipped for the protection of the inheritance of whatever descendant.
We got past it and we didn't know what we were doing.
You got past it because you had her with you.
I suppose that's true. Then I have one last question for you. And I ask you this knowing that I've already told you I care deeply for Sybil and will do everything in my power to protect her.
Yes.
But was anyone in your family involved with the harvesting of dragon blood?
I don't believe that dragons have been harvested within my generations.
You haven't heard of that.
Do you speak of the fall of the grove?
Yes.
That is as far removed from me as I am from Sybil.
Okay, I'm going to need a minute. Goodbye. Just leave the orb. Just like,
Yeah, remember, Pico said that it wasn't even the last
No,
fall
the
of
last
magic. It was the cycle before that. And
feels like, how fucking old am I?
yeah, the Primary was alive in his physical body at the end of the last cycle.
Cool.
Yeah.
Great.
So you can just like heat yourself up like just normally. It's like on your own, no fire or anything.
Yeah, it's kind of part of being a talisman. It's
What's the talisman?
it is the vessel with which we exist for the consciousness of what we were.
I see.
See that you're getting along very well. Good. Good.
It's a talking object.
A dragon.
Yeah,
You know,
at
that's
this
a
point at this point he would have like gone from teapot to
Oh,
little like 1 foot long
Oh, yeah,
like
he did bite me,
dragon
so- Yeah, he
thing.
did bite,
Yeah.
didn't he?
Yeah, dragon thing.
Sorry,
As
I'm fascinated. I've never seen
Apparently,
a
am
dragon
I?
before.
So when
What, a dragon?
Yes.
Oh yeah, I saw you. I gotta say, dragon
think
form, fantastic.
How old am I? How old are we?
I don't know that there's a way to calculate that.
Great. Wonderful. All right. Put a pin in
many-
that for later. We should find Jackson Sybil.
Oh,
And I think that's
Kill,
a
go
good
ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh no, go ahead.
I was about to say I think that's a good part to end on since we're about 30 minutes over now.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Did you have one last question, Baldur?
No, it's good.
Okay.
I
No.
can save that for later.
Oh,
Cool.
just put a pin in it.
Everything's totally fine.
Oh,
Yep.
So we've all had our minds blown. Let's end there.
you good? You good? You guys survived? No heart
Yeah.
attacks?
it's
For
okay.
now.
Some blew up. I
Something
don't know.
did
We'll
blow
figure that
up.
out later.
Yeah.
We have to figure that
Go
out.
look at that.
Everything's
Yeah.
fine.
I have a theory.
You
But
still
probably wrong. I hope I am, but like I don't know.
and you still haven't made the freaking healing potion.
What? We got distracted.
Listen, we had a lot to
Just
talk
a
about.
little bit.
Spin.
You're just a little distracted. Just a little distracted.
Not distracted even.
Final action. Jax chugs the potion at Sybil.
Sybil, I think, is the one carrying it. So,
Yes.
do you want to play out asking for that before we go, or is that something that
Oh,
we're
no.
handling next time?
I mean, he will be like, "Hey, can I have that bottle?"
We're doing this now? Because I don't want to give you that.
You said you wanted to know what happened if someone drink it. Like, I'll drink
do want to know, but I feel like there's a better time to use it. Like,
I mean,
you saw what it did to Kale. I feel
what-
like that would
I mean,
be more
if
useful.
not now, when?
When something's trying to kill you and you need a boost.
Oh, so when something's trying to kill me, I should wig out, right, with my magic, like in the middle of it.
Yeah, I think that would be at least.
I mean, it would make more
beneficial.
sense if, like, I could, if I like, I wouldn't be able to control it. It could hurt everybody else too.
All right, okay, fine.
For science.
Go stand over there.
Okay,
Like,
so we're
roots
doing
around-
this.
So here
Roots
for
around
it.
and pulls it out. It's just like, okay, fine, go.
Okay, so we're doing
End with an
this.
explosion.
And
All right.
pulls out
Second
one of her notebooks
explosion.
and is like, all right, just tell me like how you're feeling. We're gonna if you're gonna do this, we're gonna actually keep a record of what happens.
For science.
For
For
science.
science.
And
Stand in the
so-
corner, chug it.
You go to the opposite corner. You take this little vial that Sybil had collected
Bad
of
idea.
the ooze from that obsidian glass vision wall. Take a deep breath and then throw it back. This one, we already know which potion this is, so it is not magic potion roulette. It hits your stomach like trying to gulp down ice cold water on an empty stomach at the height of summer. It's like a rock hitting and nauseous, and then this energy surges through your body. The room lights up with crackles of electricity and lightning. I would also like a speed defense roll from Sybil.
Don't
I
get
stood as far
sword.
away as I could and just want to make it known.
Wait,
The,
as far
the
away
room
as
is like
possible.
3 feet wide.
That's a 3.
So it's not like you are right there as it is blasting out, but some of the arcs do get to you. It is a lightning storm contained in the corner of a room. So some do get to you. And with a 3, unfortunately, you do not dodge. It blasts the notes. Yeah, it blasts the notes out of your hands, strikes you directly into the chest, and you take 8 points of might damage.
Oh no! Oh no!
Sybil.
What?
Sybil, no.
I am so many. I'm like almost down.
Yeah.
We need a healing
Sib-
potion for you now, too.
Yeah. Sybil, or Jax, you are wreathed in lightning as you feel this power surging through you.
Fuck.
You do not know how to control it yet. This is not something that you are used to controlling. But your hair, your dreads stand on edge, wild and in the air. Your eyes are glowing purple, this purple electricity just wreathing your body and smashing into the floor and into the walls around you. And you do take 4 experience points, and you've got 4 to give out.
4 or 2?
2 to give out. Sorry, yeah, 2 to give out. Sorry.
Oh, sorry. I was like,
Uh,
I was getting
But I've
Yeah,
had
two-
more experience points.
Yeah, two to give out. And
I'll
that is
give
where we end.
one-
Yeah.
Awesome.
So where are you
I
giving
got
them to?
One to Sybil and Kale. One to Sybil and Kale.
Yeah.
I'm good. I got lots. Just give them both to Sybil.
Oh yeah, sure. I'll give them both to Sybil.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yes,
I feel like
that
makes the most sense considering you just
Science.
obliterated.
She just obliterated Sybil.
she just got struck in the chest by lightning.
Science.
Science.
Yeah, she just got struck in the chest by lightning. His powers are not, I'm gonna transform into a dragon and bust out my clothes. No,
No.
his powers are offensive electricity thrashing away from his body.
I can't wait to see how Kale and Balder react to stepping into a lightning
Like,
storm the next.
What the hell just
Yeah.
happened?
We can't leave you
We
guys
leave you alone for 10 minutes.
Jeez.
Sybil, you were supposed to be the responsible one. What happened?
I'm very disappointed. in
Why
you.
is it always
I'm gonna
Jax?
invest in some really good like rubber soled shoes after this.
What? See,
Balder's just gonna be
see,
like, "Oh, you did it without me." Oh,
see, what the
Damn it.
thing is,
damn it.
both of Jax's and Sybil's descriptors make us both chaotic, right?
Yeah.
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 Like, we're both
Yeah, so
basically just chaotic people. So like, you don't leave us alone.
Not together.
Nope.
Yep.
Just like, yeah, I also really want to know what this does. Okay.
Yep.
It'll be
A
fine.
little, it's that overeager. If you weren't overeager, you might have been able to be like, "No, this is not the time." But
Really not.
For science.
yeah.
For science.
But yeah, hey, we're already down here. We're already down here, and I need to make you a healing potion anyway. This way I know if I need to make you two. But yeah,
Unfree with us. Heads up.
jeez. But yes, so anyway, I am Evie, the Disaster GM, Director of Altered Echo Archives. As a final round of hi, this is who we are, this is where you can find us. Let's start with Excel this time.
Hello, everybody. My name is Excel. As you've heard, pronouns are him. I've played Jix, no last name. Chaotic Warrior needs no weapon, also spreads lightning. You can find me at really no social medias besides like Facebook. I'm there. You can find me over on Twitter. That's right, Twitter. You can find me over at Twitter. There's a link tree there that'll lead you up to all my other stuff. Also catch me. Let's see. There's a lot of stuff. Catch me Monday nights talking XP or play Arxis. You catch me Tuesday nights on Faith Fatale's channel where we play Shredded Chronicles, a Pathfinder game. I play Gabriel Sunbringer, who is full of himself, but is also just like Jackson in the way that he fights with his fist. You can catch me on Wednesdays, but right now we're in our season break for Blood Tax. Season 3 is coming soon. And there's a lot of other stuff. You can also catch me here every other Sunday for this game, which I'm always excited for. Yeah,
Yes.
thanks for coming.
We do love Jax. Are you still raising funds for the AC or anything?
The AC is not as needed anymore because it is cooling down.
Okay.
Still raising fund for the PC though.
Okay. So yeah, Excel's link tree as well as everybody else's links are in chat. So if you feel the desire and ability to help, go ahead and check out the crowdfunding there. Let's shift over to Alina.
Hey everybody, I'm Alina Pete. I play Kale. We are both they, them. I am the empathetic explorer that helps their friends and has the soul of a dragon. You can find me online at Alina Pete or alinapete.bluesky, mostly where I've been these days. I'm also on Instagram at alinapete_art. You can find all of my arts. I am doing a series of Woodland Cree Pokemon right now, which is super fun. So check those out.
Very
I
cool.
also stream at twitch.tv/WhereGeekComics. We should be playing this coming Friday. So come check out our Trash Heroes, where we are trashy D&D characters. Very fun.
Alina is also our character artist for this particular game. They did a fantastic job. So any of those character art pieces that you see off to the side from the players throughout the game, that is Alina 100% doing an amazing job as always. Let's jump over to Joel.
Hello, I am Joel. I have this on Sunday, every other Sunday. I wish it was every day, but every other Sunday will do. I also am on the internet as Joel Writes, as in JOWOEL Writes. You can find me everywhere. I'm probably not gonna be there, but you can find me. I have accounts on those places. I'm currently mostly just doing this. I'm sorry. I have nothing else going on. I've been streaming on Twitch sometimes. Um, just been doing gaming stuff. Also, Dextel and I are technically supposed to have returned to doing videos now that I have internet, but we are. You can find the Find Out Squad. We haven't done anything in like a couple of weeks because I've been moving. But now, but we should be back to doing that at some point or another.
Okay. Last but not least, our beloved and welcome back to Maggie.
What's up? That's me. I am Maggie. I play Sybil, who is the overeager adept who would rather be reading and
Which is why we
possessor
love
of
it.
a brand new Lichtenberg figure, Scar.
It's why we love you. It's why you are beloved. It's wonderful.
I love her. She's an idiot. You ever met somebody who's so smart and so stupid at the same time?
Idiot.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
She's an idiot, y'all. So yeah, mostly here, sometimes on Alina's channels. But
Should
check
do
me
art
out
soon.
on
Be fun.
you should. Check me out on Twitter. See what I'm up to.
Or Blue Sky.
Or Blue Sky. And if you saw me hit myself in the face with this, no, you didn't.
No, you didn't.
I laughed so
No, you didn't.
hard. I laughed so hard. I needed a second. But yes, so you can find our links in chat if you are watching on Twitch. If you are watching on YouTube, don't forget to like and subscribe, and links to catch where we are and what we do can be found in the description.
It's fine. Yeah, I'm gonna put it down actually.
I also have been fidgeting with toys the entire time too. But yeah, so yeah. So yeah, it's been a great session. Absolutely no trauma imparted onto the characters whatsoever, and we will catch you next time. Bye.
Bye.